Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aspire Sports Show, our first Sunday live stream. And we're here. We're going to be here every single week to help you with your fantasy football lineups, talk DFS, talk FanDuel, Sportsbook, all the fun stuff. And if you haven't already, go over to BetUS where you can get a deposit match bonus of 125%. And they have a casino as well. So make sure you check that out. So we're live. Let's get going. And we have some questions in chat real quick. So let's get these questions in chat. So the first question that we have in chat right now is Optimize. Just want to know everybody I'm here first. Hey, what's up, Optimize? We see you, baby. TX second. Hey, what's up, TX? Uzi, what's going on, my guy? And then we have Monty Harris. Also, I guess, Ryan, go ahead. Say hi to everybody because I didn't let you introduce yourself yet.
What up, everybody?
Hey, there you go,
Birds.
Ryan.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. You think they're going to win today? Probably. They'll probably win.
I don't know. Probably not.
Monty Harris, or I'm assuming this is not Monty Harris. I was going to say David Montgomery. So we got David Montgomery, or I'm assuming this is Damien Harris. So I would go Damien Harris today. Who would you go, Ryan?
I think that one. What is it? Does he say if it's standard or not? I don't have the
It's
chat.
0.5 PPR. Yeah.
I don't know. I think game script. I think David Montgomery could catch a pass out of the backfield. So in a 0.5, I might slightly lean Montgomery for the game script reason, because I don't think the Bears keep it close very often today.
Sounds good. So let's look at the next one. And also, guys, if you don't know, I'm also going live on TikTok at the same time. So I'm going to try to be flowing through both of these chats, answering everybody's questions. So, and if you guys aren't aware, over on TikTok, we're live over at YouTube, Aspire Sports Show. So let's also go to Optimize. We have, how do you feel about me dropping Travis Kelce? Yeah, that would be a great pick. You would really optimize your lineup. Hey, look at that. Just did a crazy trade in my league. I traded Kelce and Keenan Allen for Tyreek Hill and Waller. Boy, that is crazy. So you traded away Kelce and Keenan Allen for Tyreek Hill and Waller. I mean, I would like that. I guess that side I would go. I like MP. I like that MP. I agree with Uzi. I like that. My team is now Jalen Hurts, Antonio Gibson, David Montgomery, Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper, Darren Waller, Chris Carson. It's a solid team. Ayuk or Brandon, or Ayuk or Lockett. I would go Lockett. Let's look here. Now we have Optimize. Should I bench OBJ this week? Best options are Jalen Reagor and Henry Ruggs. Also, OBJ is inactive. Should I start Landry in my other league? Yes. I would go OBJ regardless. I wouldn't start him over, or I wouldn't start Jalen Reagor or Ruggs. I would go OBJ. And if OBJ is, I still like Landry regardless if OBJ is active or not. Just it depends on who your other options are. How do you feel about that, Ryan?
Sorry, I'm getting this set up right now. I'm looking at bets and I have the chat pulled up now. So
Okay,
OBJ, I think obviously that's something you have to monitor like all day, but you don't have the luxury of that since it's 4 o'clock. We have 1 o'clock games. I wouldn't risk it because honestly, I talked to like some of my Browns fans friends, and the vibes are that he won't be playing today because they want to be cautious with him to make sure he's 100%. So I would start looking at some other options as far as starters. And I think you said Reagor and who else?
Ruggs. So he does have that option.
Yeah.
You could wait.
Are there
Ruggs.
Raiders? Yeah. I would.
They're on Monday night.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah. I think it's what you said. I'd wait to see and then decide between Ruggs or OBJ. And I'd probably be leaning Ruggs because I think even if he does suit up, I don't think it's 100%. I don't think they try getting him the ball too much.
All right. Let's look at the next one. We have, that's the next one. So half point PPR, we got Mike Davis, Chase Edmonds, or Robbie Anderson. Who you going, Ryan? I would personally go Chase Edmonds.
Agreed.
I think Chase Edmonds should have a solid fantasy day today. Let's go to the next one. We got Tyreek could easily go off. Tyreek Hill could definitely finish as wide receiver 1 on the season. No, I don't. Start Judy Start Judy or Galladay or Gage. I would go Jerry, Judy, Uzi. Should I start Saquon? Yes, start Saquon today. I would go Saquon absolutely. I told you guys Cooper will go off. Yes, Cooper did go off. CD could have had a really big game if he didn't have some drops, and also Dak missed them on a couple of throws. But CD's solid. Minnesota. No, I don't. You got to say it again. Tyson Williams. I would go Tyson Williams over Chase Claypool and DJ Moore over Laviska Shenault. Trevor Lawrence or Kyler Murray. I would go Kyler Murray. We have DJ Moore or Laviscus. DJ Moore. Go DJ Moore. Or Mixon. I would go Mixon over Saquon this week because I'm not sure if Saquon could be limited a little bit. But Kyle, just say one. Who cares? It's a defense. Don't worry about it. I would go Mixon. How do you feel about that, Ryan? Would you go Mixon or Saquon?
Yeah, honestly, I like the Mixon play this week. And Saquon makes me nervous. And we were just talking about that. First off, the Broncos have they have a good defense. We've talked about it before. They could be up there for one of the best defenses in the league. And then the question marks surrounding the offensive line for the Giants as well. I don't think we were talking about if the over-under in that game's 41, like there's just not going to be a lot of points scored and probably not a lot of opportunities for Barkley to get in the end zone. So that is one of my bets that I was talking about. So I can plug that right now. I alted up to 44 and took the under. It's still at minus 145 juice. So the alt under 44 in the Giants Broncos is one that I'm rolling with today.
Hey, not a lot of points scored in that game. That game should be pretty ugly though. How do you feel about Justin Herbert this week? So me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Justin Herbert, but if you have him, you probably have to start him. It's not going to be a good week, but you really have to have better options to really sit Justin Herbert. One guy that I would is Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence has a really good matchup, but then you have to have like basically a top 12 guy, maybe like Kirk Cousins or somebody. So I would still play Justin Herbert if you have him. Are any of my bench guys, Connor or Gordon, worth starting over Tyson? No, I wouldn't. I would play Tyson Williams this upcoming week. Kraken man, what's good, my guy? We have help. We have Stafford or Herbert. I would go Stafford. Marquis Mark Stafford. Rams minus 4.5. Are these your favorite bets, Uzi? Money line. How do you think of my parlay? Okay, so you got this. Panthers minus 3.5, Bills minus 2.5, and Packers minus 3.5. Or wait, that's Chargers. Is that Chargers? That would technically do that. Oh, Chargers money line.
It's Chargers money, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I like it. Although the Bills are gonna lose today, the Bills are just gonna lose outright. No, I like it. I think all those teams should win.
I like the only one that the Chargers money line. I like the Washington's defense a lot, and we talked about them coming to the East Coast in a 1:00 game. I don't love the recipe there. So that one, I don't know how much it changes the odds, but I might just stay away from that game because you could get anything with a team from the West Coast going over.
I feel you. So let me see here. We got Jarvis Landry or Robbie Anderson. I would go Robbie Anderson. So that's who you're starting, Jarvis, or that's what you're thinking here. I would go Robbie Anderson personally. I think Robbie Anderson's in for a solid week. Standard flex, we have Swift or Deante. Ooh, for standard scoring, man, those are both kind of guys that I like for PPR. I would personally go Deante in that case for standard scoring. I just envision Pittsburgh having more opportunities than Detroit personally, so I would go with Deante. You agree with that, Ryan? Hey, appreciate the follow as well. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. TikTok, we're also live over at YouTube, youtube.com/Aspire Sports Show. You guys, Washington football teams and Rams kicker. That's a really solid team. I would give that team an A. Good job drafting. Let's go to the next question. We got, do I start Gaskins, Jacoby Myers, or Laviska Shenault at flex? Me personally, I would go Myles Gaskin. I think Myles Gaskin's going to have a decent week, especially in full point PPR. How do you feel about that, Rag guy?
Yeah, Gaskin. I would have said Gaskin or Shenault. I like as well.
A buddy in my league is wanting to work a deal where I get Saquon and he gets CEH. Is that worth me attempting? Yes, I would do that deal personally. I think Saquon, he might be limited this week, but season long, I still like Saquon. I think he's going to finish as a top 10 guy. And I said this before, an 80% Saquon is better than majority of the running backs in the NFL. So I would go with Saquon. How would you feel, Ryan? Which one would you want?
No, I mean, it's an interesting trade. It depends on what you'd have to add to it, honestly, because I don't think
they would take that straight up.
I mean, straight up, I would lean on the Saquon side, yeah. But I feel like if like the CEH needs side the guy would expect more.
Yeah, than just that straight up trade.
Yeah,
I agree with that. What was that, Ryan or Kyle? Did I miss one? Are we good? Robbie Anderson or Josh Jacobs? I would go Robbie Anderson. Yeah, over Josh Jacobs. Full team: Allen Robinson, Aaron Jones, James Robinson, Julio, Devontae Adams, Cooks, Mostert, and Flex. Change anything? No, I would keep it as is. I would keep that team as is. It looks really good, Van Thomas. Good job. Pick 2, Callaway, Tyson Williams, Pittman, Myers. So I like this upcoming week. Callaway. I don't think that what's his face going to shadow Jair Alexander. He really didn't shadow much last year. It was more in the beginning of the season, and I don't expect them to shadow Callaway this upcoming week. And Tre'Quan Smith is on IR, so I would go Callaway and Tyson Williams. Who would you go, Ryan?
Yeah, I like the Callaway and Tyson Williams. I think I would probably lean those two too, but I also do think Pittman. I think he has a good week this week as well. So he's one that
is in there. I think those are solid options as a whole. Like I like Jacoby Myers. This is a tough Miami secondary, but in the slot they're beatable, and Jacoby Myers will play in the slot. Swift, Deante, Tyson. Is this PPR? Let us know. If it's standard out of all those guys, I would go Tyson Williams. If it's full point PPR though, I would probably go Deontay Johnson. I think I would still go Deontay Johnson over Swift. It's really close. Non PPR, do I start Callaway versus Jair? Harris versus the Packers defense at my slot. Once again, I would go Callaway. I don't think Callaway is going to see shadow coverage from Jair Alexander. So I would go Callaway. Who would you go, Ryan? Well, that's the same one. Oh, wait, that's Damian Harris versus. Oh, that's non PPR. Okay, actually, let me change that. It's non PPR, so I would go Damian Harris.
Yeah,
for just standard. I missed that part there. So standard. Okay, Ryan agrees. Standard, we got Chark, Ayuk, or Chase. Is this Chase Edmonds or Jamar Chase? I'm assuming since you're saying the last names, it's going to be Jamar Chase. Regardless who it is, though, I'm going Brandon Ayuk.
Yep.
DJ Moore, Chris Carson, full PPR. Oh, that's tough. Those are guys that are really close for me. Personally, I would go DJ Moore. I would go DJ Moore. Chris Carson has a tough matchup, and I involve him. I envision him being more involved in the passing game a little bit, but DJ Moore should be okay. So I would go DJ Moore. Who would you go, Rye?
I agree.
Hey, look at that. We're in a agreement here.
That's usually a bad. That's not good.
And if I miss your question, please feel free to ask it again. Like, I'm just scrolling through chat, trying to get to these as fast as possible. So if I skip over it, I apologize. It's not like I'm skipping over yours on purpose. Just ask it again. And I got a couple questions on TikTok I got to get to real quick. So do I start Allen Robinson or Robbie Anderson? I know Allen Robinson has a tough matchup, but I would still play him regardless. Yo, what's up, Carter? How you doing, buddy? We're live over at YouTube /Aspire Sports Show. So let's see here. We got some more questions coming in. David Montgomery or Daryl Henderson, full point PPR. I would go Daryl Henderson personally. Who are you going, Ryan? Henderson?
Agreed.
Pick 2. We got Barkley, Davis, Gaskin. Barkley, Gaskin for me.
Barkley, Davis, Gaskin. Yeah. The Davis, Gaskin, I think they're close.
I like Gaskin more personally. My question was PPR. Who was that? Rico, which was yours. Okay, PPR. So I would still go Tyson and Callaway. Rico. Let's see. We got David Montgomery or Tyson, PPR, Tyson Williams for me. And then we have my other 2 wide receivers are Justin Jefferson, Tyler Boyd. I don't think Jarvis goes over any of them. No, I would go the guys that you have. Yeah. I would start those other guys personally. Do I drop Marquis Brown for Callaway or Chenault or keep Brown? I would drop him for Callaway for sure, especially with Smith on IR now, Tre'Quan Smith. I would definitely pick up Callaway. Maybe he doesn't have a good week 1, like a decent week 1, but he should have a really solid season.
Yeah.
PPR question: Saquon or Antonio Gibson? Ryan, who are you going?
I might go Antonio Gibson.
I'm going to go Saquon still.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that just to be different? He didn't want to agree on one.
I just think that Saquon. Listen, I know that they came out and said that he's going to be somewhat limited, but I don't believe it. Like, I don't believe that this team. I think that they're going to want to do that, and then the game's going to be really close, and then they'll be like, all right, screw it, just let him go, and then he's going to be the guy. So, rate my wide receivers: D Hop, T Higgins, Jerry, Judy. How many teams is this? I mean, this is pretty solid, but if it's like a 10-team league, I don't like it that much, but I do like those guys, but it's just a better wide receiver too, personally, I feel like, but I still think those are pretty solid wide receivers. Let's see. We have rate my team: Russell Wilson, Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, Keenan Allen, CeeDee Lamb, Robert Tonyan, Deontay Johnson, Antonio Brown, Washington football team, Matt Gay. I like the team. It's pretty obvious that you kind of punted tight end, ended up with Robert Tonyan, who should be fine this upcoming season. If I had to give it a grade, I would say, I mean, that's a really solid team. I would probably give it like an A- just because.
A-. Oh my gosh, we agreed.
Hey, look at that. Start Marvin Jones, AJ Brown, and Brandon Cooks. For me, AJ Brown, 100%.
Yeah,
AJ Brown. Claypool and Marvin Jones. I have Claypool, but it is close between Marvin Jones. I like Marvin Jones a lot this upcoming week, so I would kind of just go with your gut. But I do like. I technically have Claypool ranked higher, so I would go Claypool. Pick 4 to start, full point PPR. Where's this one at? Okay, that one's down there. So we have Austin Eckler, Miles Sanders, Russell Gage, Laviska Shenault, Mike Davis, Chase Edmonds, Zach Wilson. So is this a super flex then? Like, I'm definitely starting Zach Wilson if it's a super flex.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson in there, Austin Eckler, Chase Edmonds, and then the last one I would go. I probably honestly would still lean Miles Sanders. I do think that they have. It is a tougher matchup because last year Atlanta actually was pretty solid against the run, but Philadelphia has all their guys healthy. So I think that I would still go Miles Sanders. Who would you go differently, if anybody?
I don't know that I would. Obviously, if it's a super flex, like Zach Wilson needs to be in there. But yeah. I agree with the other ones you have in there as well.
Do you think that Tyson Williams would keep the lead role? I think he can. I mean, I believe he's good enough to keep the lead role. Does it actually happen? We'll have to see. But I think the beat reporters from Baltimore are saying that they're going to give him every opportunity to have this lead role. So I personally think he's going to have to really screw up to not have the lead role. And I think he's good enough to keep it. So I believe so. Tyson Williams, Damian Harris, Swift, Robert Woods, Deante. How many? Just one? I would go Robert Woods. And then Fan or Goddard, go Goddard. Agree with both of those, Rye?
Yeah. I think Woods and Cooper Kupp have a good game tonight.
Yes, I agree with that. Stuck between Henderson or Tyson Williams at flex. Technically, I have in my rankings Tyson Williams ranked higher, so I would go Tyson Williams. Tyson Williams. I like Tyson Williams this upcoming week. Would you go differently, Ryan?
Nope.
All righty, let's keep rolling, baby. Football's today, and who is excited, baby? Who's excited? It's like, honestly, today feels like Christmas a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Today feels like Christmas, and we got Swift or Tyler Boyd. Personally, I would go Deandre Swift. I do like Tyler Boyd, but Deandre Swift, he's my homie. I love Deandre Swift. Let's go with what's the next one? So we got Henderson, Tyson Williams, Claypool or Laviska Shenault. I would go Claypool. I know you like Laviska. Are you going him over Claypool?
No. I mean, I like Laviska like this week and kind of like I feel like he kind of became like a hot sleeper type guy. I think a lot of people kind of got on him. So I do kind of like him season long because I think that offense could actually be decent compared to what it's been in the last couple of years. But I do like him season long. But Claypool, I do like Claypool probably more than him this week.
Damian Harris or DJ Moore, and why DJ Moore? Because I believe that he's the wide receiver 1 for this offense. And rate my team. I'll rate it in a minute. I would go DJ Moore. And let me just see this team real quick, and then I'll get back to the chat. So I would give that team an A. Good job, Elite. That's a really solid team. DJ Moore, because I believe, once again, he's the wide receiver 1 in this offense, and this is a team that DJ Moore has just been so consistent throughout his career. Like everybody thinks that Robbie Anderson's going to come in here and be the wide receiver one. I don't see it. I think it's going to be DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a superb talent at the wide receiver. The only thing that's been missing in his career has been touchdowns, and I think he's going to get it. So we have play Eckler for PPR. Yes, I would play Eckler. I would still play Eckler. It would be, I guess, between him and Allen Robinson, but I would still probably lean Eckler. I think he's fine. I think he's a full go, they said. Didn't they say that? Like he's full. Yeah, like I think he'll be fine. I wouldn't expect a big game, and really those are two really tough matchups for him and Allen Robinson, but he should be fine. Let's see. We have Claypool versus Buffalo or Odell versus Kansas City. Personally, I would go I would go Chase Claypool because we're not entirely sure if Odell is going to play today. So you would agree with that, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, we keep talking about it. Those are the tough ones, and you got to make the decision at 1:00. And rather than taking a risk on Odell being out,
Robert Woods.
Just make the decision. Woods. Just make the decision to play him because it's not like it's a bad matchup anyway. So yeah, I'd roll Claypool instead of OBJ.
Mooney or Jerry Judy. I would go Jerry Judy. And let's go to, we got DeAndre Swift versus Jacoby Myers. Personally, I would go DeAndre Swift. And yes, I would go Chase Claypool. It is a tougher matchup, but still, like, he's a superb talent, so I would go him. Austin Eckler should be fine today, but don't expect a massive game because this is a really tough matchup. I believe last year Washington gave up the second fewest receiving yards to the running back, so it's a really tough matchup. Eric Ebron or Hunter Henry. Oh boy, close your eyes and hope for something. I would go Hunter Henry personally, but I mean, that's tough at that point. Who would you go, Ryan, if you had to pick one?
Yeah, I would just go Hunter Henry, just out of just like hope that he's like a big part of this offense, and if like Mac Jones just targets him, like peppers him with targets and stuff. I mean, that's all you can really hope for with those two options.
Yeah, and I even think that Kyle, how do you say his last name? The rookie tight end.
Pat Freiermuth or something like that.
Freiermuth.
Yeah.
Tyler, you're muted. Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah.
How do you say it again? Pat Freiermuth.
Dude, he's a Penn State guy. You got to get that down.
I know, but that's a hard name. I mean, I'm already bad at pronouncing names as is. So like that's. I think he's going to be a big part of this offense, honestly. Eckler or Gibson or Montgomery starting RB, no PPR. So for no PPR, I would go Gibson, Van Thomas. And I appreciate everybody being a part of the live stream. I appreciate every single one of you, even over on TikTok and on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you. One to start, Brandon Cooks, Damian Harris, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Ayuk. With the recent news that Xavier Rhodes is out, I like this offense a lot more. For the Indianapolis Colts. So right now I would go Tyler Lockett because I also do think that San Francisco should steamroll Detroit. So I just don't envision them really having to pass the ball a lot down the stretch, where this game, Indianapolis, I think can be a little bit closer and has a chance to be a sneaky high scoring game. So personally, I would go Tyler Lockett. Who would you go, Ray?
Yeah, I agree with the Tyler Lockett pick. Carson Wentz is just going to ball out and you think a shootout. That'd be fun.
Austin Eckler or Damien Harris. I would go Austin Eckler, full point PPR. We got Trey Sermon or Jamal Williams. I would go Trey Sermon personally. I think he's going to be involved in this offense, especially second half. Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate you guys. Thoughts on Trey Lance and Justin Fields. Who would you rather have? Who would you rather have, Ryan?
I'd rather Justin Fields. They both have that ability. Justin Fields, I know you don't want to put too much stock in the preseason, but Justin Fields looked really good. And I think it's not even like a matter of if, it's when.
And I think
Justin Fields takes over. And Trey Lance is like Garoppolo, there's still money tied to him and like the contract and everything. We think it'll happen, assume it'll happen, but Fields is definitely going to take over at some point. And it'll probably be.
I think honestly, after this week, I think Justin Fields will honestly be the quarterback. I think that they're going to struggle really bad and they're going to be like, all right, screw it. We're going to give it to Justin Fields. And I kind of think that's what this team is hoping. They're like, oh God, I hope we get kind of blown out. And then Matt Nagy can be like, all right, Justin Fields, you got the quarterback. All right. I did say I'll give Andy Dalton the week. He could be the starter. I didn't say how long. So there we go. So let's fly through some of these questions because we got a lot of questions coming in. Let me see. I'm starting Damian Harris over Henderson. Thoughts? Personally, I would start Henderson, but if you like Damian Harris, go with your gut. I always say that to everybody. Go with your gut. Darnold or Herbert, I would still go Justin Herbert. What is this one and why? Who was that? Was that Deandre Swift or Jacoby Myers? Okay, so he wants to know why. And why, just wondering. So for me, PPR, Deandre Swift, I think that Deandre Swift is an absolute superb talent. It's a very tough matchup against San Francisco. That was really good against the running back last year, specifically running the football. But this is a team that's currently, what is it? Is it 8, 9, 10? What is the points here that they're given for this game now? Is it still 7? 9. So they're 9-point underdogs, meaning they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So I like DeAndre Swift. He's still going to have that versatility of running the football and also catching the ball. And he's a really good receiving back, one of the better receiving backs in the NFL. Let's see here. Let's flow through these questions. So I'm going to give you this next one here. Thanks, boys. Thank you, Rico. Appreciate you being part of the live stream. Full point PPR, start 2, Damian Harris, Devontae Smith, Tyson Williams. Already killed by injuries. Who you going, Ryan? Start 2 out of those guys.
Tyson Williams and Devontae Smith. And I don't know. I think the Eagles Falcons game is another one that I started to take a look at. And I kind of like the over in that game. It's set up 48 right now. I don't trust either of the defenses too much. And I think there's a lot of big play potential today with Calvin Ridley and Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts as well. I think he has something to prove this season. And I think they go out. I think this ends up being a high scoring game and Devontae Smith has a chance to get in the end zone.
All right. So, me personally, in those with that and full point PPR, I would go Devontae Smith and Tyson Williams. Did you say that too? Sorry, I was talking over on TikTok. I agree with Rye guy. Right, we're agreeing too much. Come on, man. We got to be different here. Full point PPR, we got bench Javonte Williams, Kenyon Drake, Hardman, Fuller, add 1, Tony Jones, Coleman, Latavius Murray, Elijah Moore, Rondell Moore, Russell Gage, or Brian Edwards. Out of that whole group, for me, running back, I love Elijah Moore, but running backs are a little bit more valuable. And I would go Tony Jones. I think that Tony Jones is going to have flex value every single week. It would be between him and Latavius Murray, but Tony Jones has flex value every single week. And if anything were to happen to Alvin Kamara, he takes over. Where even if something happens with Tyson Williams, I just envision this backfield being like a timeshare in Baltimore, regardless of what happens. Unless Tyson Williams balls out, then I expect him to kind of be the lead guy. Little Top, yo, what's up, homie? How you doing? We got Jamar Chase or Henry Ruggs at wide receiver 3. I would still go Jamar Chase over Henry Ruggs. Would you do the same, Ryan? Shaking your head, yes.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill or Trevor Lawrence? Ryan Tannehill, Debo, Judy, Brian Edwards, Elijah Moore starting at wide receiver, no PPR. I would go Jerry Judy for that one. Shaking his head over there. I can see it. He agrees. Good morning and happy football. Yes, happy football to everybody. Football is back, baby, officially back. I mean, it was back on Thursday night, but you only get that. It's like a little tease. You get that little taste of football, and you're like, I want more. Now we get a full day of football with Monday Night Football as well. So beautiful day to be alive. I mean, every day is, but especially today. We got 2 quarterback leagues. We got Hurts locked in. Do I go Burrow stack, Higgins, or Wentz? I would go Burrow stack, yes, with Higgins, personally.
I'll disagree with that one.
Oh, we got a homer over here.
A homer for Carson Wentz, yeah. No, but we just talked about we say that this game has potential to be a shootout. You mentioned it, and if that's the case, then obviously Wentz has got to be using some more and having some touchdowns. I don't hate Burrow, but if we think that that's a potential for a shootout,
well, I think the other game could be a shootout too. I think that there's scoring potential in that game.
Listen, we needed to agree at some point. I just wanted to be at that point, just so I could throw.
Well, you know what, Young. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do have Joe Burrow ranked a little bit lower. This is going to be an improved defense for Minnesota too. Like their secondaries, they have Patrick Peterson, Brashad Breeland. Their 3 starting defensive linemen last year didn't play. They have them back. So this is going to be a really tough matchup. I know that it's Minnesota and Minnesota was beatable last year, but this Minnesota defense should be improved this upcoming season. So I do have Joe Burrow ranked a little bit lower. And we have a $1. Joe Burke. Appreciate you, brother. We got Devin Singletary, Javonte Williams, 0.5 PPR. For me personally, Javonte Williams. Who are you going, Ryan?
Yeah, I agree with that one. Javonte Williams this week and season long. I think he's going to end up being a good value pick for where people got him.
And appreciate you, Joe, for the donation. Really means a lot. Thank you. And thank you for being a part of the live stream along with everybody else. We got Eckler, Harris, or Album. Who's Album? But if that's Najee Harris, I would go Najee Harris. Otherwise, I would go Eckler. Chris Carson or Brandon Cooks, I would go Chris Carson. Sorry, Ayuk. Okay, so Eckler, Harris, or Ayuk. I would still go Eckler. I know that he was a little bit limited, but it appears that he's a full go, so I would go Eckler personally. So we have, let me see, where did I leave off at? Thanks for the help, man. Rock on. Yo, appreciate you, Reese. Rate my team for Optimize. We got Mike Lennon. Oh, boy. This team looks really good. Eric, Ebron, James Conner. Yo, that team is really solid. I would give that team an A+. Good job, Optimize. Should I cut Ebron for, how do you say it again? Freiermuth. I personally would. I just think Freiermuth is, like, he tested really well coming out of college. These scouts really liked him coming out of college. I think that is a matter of if, not when, he overtakes. Yeah, I think he's going to overtake Ebron. And the thing about Freiermuth is that he can actually block where Eric Ebron can't block. So I think I would go him because I think he can be the full-time starter for this team.
We should normalize a nickname. We should call him Moothy because we feel like he's just going to keep showing up.
True. We do need to have a Freiermuth. I think I got it now.
Moothy. I just Muth or Moothy.
All right. Just saying Muth.
Yeah.
Heath. Yeah, I gotcha. Let's see here. So we have what's the next one? A little top. We got Jones, Eckler, Ridley, Cooper, Tyrell Williams, Jacoby Myers, Ruggs, Paris. Out of those guys, I would go Jacoby Myers. In a full point PPR, yes, I would go Jacoby Myers. Agree with that, Rye guy?
Yep.
Yes. Full point PPR, I have CMC, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. Should I sit or one of the wide receivers for Carolina or the Carolina players for Tyson Williams or Brandon Cooks? The only guy that I would consider sitting would be Robbie Anderson. I personally go Tyson Williams, in my opinion. But if you want to leave it as is, Travis, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, like starting those guys, that's fine. Because in fantasy football, like if you think that Carolina's offense is going to do well, start every guy you can from Carolina. But I personally would go Tyson Williams over Robbie Anderson. But it's totally up to you. And I see Ryan shaking his head. We got Ruggs or Jamar Chase. Rye, we're going Jamar Chase, right? Am I lagging? Ryan, you going Jamar Chase or Henry Ruggs?
Jamar Chase.
Love the show. We love you guys being a part of the show. Mike Davis or Robbie Anderson flex. Me personally, Robbie Anderson. Who you going, right guy? Robbie Anderson. Shaking his head. Welcome back, football. Yes, welcome back, football. We've missed you, football. It's been a long time. David Montgomery or Trey Sermon? David Montgomery. I know that he's playing the Rams, but still, I like to see how this Trey Sermon Mostert things works out. I still like Mostert a lot. I want to see how much Trey Sermon actually plays, though. Van Thomas. Van has been a big guy asking a lot of questions in chat, and I appreciate you, Van. Starting wide receivers, Keenan Allen, Ridley. I've got D. Smith, T. Higgins, Robbie Anderson, and Robert Woods on the bench. Change anything? Personally, I have Robert Woods ranked ahead of Keenan Allen. That's just my personal rankings. I have Robert Woods as I think he's a borderline top 12 wide receiver. He might be top 12 this upcoming week. So I would go Robert Woods over Keenan Allen. That's the only thing I would change. But if you like Keenan Allen, go with your gut. And it's not PPR too.
I also think your bench is going to put up a lot of points. So I think Higgins has blow potential as well. But you can't sit a guy like Ridley.
No, absolutely not. Ridley's an absolute smash play. It might be frustrating at times, definitely, with those wide receivers where you start the wrong guy, and that's just the nature of the beast of having a good bench. Don't try to, like, you can try to trade to like upgrade one of them, but don't just trade them away to trade them away. Like, depth is necessary in football. I got Cooks and Jones starting running backs, Gibson flex, Edwards, Hilaire on bench. Change anything? Cook, Jones, no.
You in like a 4-man league?
No, I would keep it as is personally. I guess one thing I probably would change though is probably start Clyde over Gibson because I think this game is currently one of the highest. I think this game is currently the highest point total of the week in Kansas City. I think it's 53. So I would probably start CEH over Gibson personally in a standard non-PPR league. What about you, Rye?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just looking over the over-unders right now. The Titans Cardinals are 53.5. The Browns, they're 54.5. So that actually jumped. Now, yeah, CEH is definitely going to have those opportunities today, like running, as well as getting in the end zone. Like I said, when you see an over-under of 54.5, just touchdowns are going to be scored, and you obviously want part of it. So I am buying into the CEH this week, and I think that game, we keep saying it with a couple of games, but that game definitely has the opportunity to be a shootout. And whenever you think that one's going to be a shootout, obviously get your pieces in your lineups. Agreed.
Should I start Herbert or Tannehill? I would go Tannehill. I love Tannehill this upcoming week. I love Tannehill. I love this. That game, too, I think could be the highest scoring.
That one's 53.5. Yeah, right below the Chiefs.
I think that game could definitely be the highest scoring game. A lot of fireworks in that game. So flex one or full point PR, one flex, Corey Davis, Gabe Davis. So we got Corey Davis, Gabe Davis, Sammy Watkins, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. I would go Corey Davis out of all those options. Roberto, appreciate you being a part of the live show. We got Optimize. We got Muthi. Is that what we're calling him?
Muthi.
Is that what we're calling him?
Yeah, let's just go with it.
Muth. All right, that's what we're going to call him. Is locked into my starting roster, taking a risk. Hey, risks. Sometimes you got to take that risk on fantasy football. And if it's him or Ebron, personally, I would go Muthi. I think he has a chance at a touchdown. I think he's going to be a big red zone target for Ben. Thoughts on Jets backfield? To start the season, it's going to be an absolute headache. I think towards the middle of the season, what's his face? Michael Carter is just too good to not separate himself. Debo, or we got Callaway or Robbie Anderson. I would go Robbie Anderson. And we got Debo or Odell. I would go Odell. Well, what time is that? 1 o'clock? Is that game at 1 o'clock? The Detroit game?
Yeah, it should be.
If that game's at 1 o'clock, I'm gonna go Odell, or I'm gonna go Debo, because there's uncertain. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Debo over Odell just because there's a little bit uncertainty right now with the Odell situation. Wilson or Hurts, I would go. Me personally, Wilson. Xavier Rhodes is out for the Indianapolis Colts. So Wilson, Russ is going to cook. Half point PPR, we got. So yeah, the Jets backfield, I would keep Michael Carter. I think he's going to be the starting running back at some point in the season. Half point PPR, we got Watkins. Jerry Judy, Jacoby Myers. Personally, I would go Jerry Judy. I got a trade proposal. Mostert for my OBJ. Is it worth it? I lost Gus Edwards. I would do it. If you need running back depth, I think Mostert will be fine for a couple of weeks, like until he really gets hurt. So if you need running back depth, then I would get Mostert. What about you, Ray?
Yeah, that's an interesting trade. We're going to keep, I feel like this is going to keep happening. We're going to keep having issues when it comes to the running back position. We've already seen a lot of injuries this year to it. So any chance that you get to grab a starting running back in this league that has the potential, like Mostert has potential. He's just been he's had injury issues. So as of right now, if you have the opportunity to get a starting running back and what could end up being, if he stays healthy, even possibly a timeshare, I think OBJ has a good season, but depth at the running back position is going to be huge for this 17-game season. So I would take the Raheem Mostert side and hope that he stays healthy. Because, even when it comes to OBJ, too, you're taking a chance on his health, too, because he hasn't been healthy himself. Yeah, so I would take
he's coming off of lower body injuries. People always bring that up.
Yeah,
he's had a lot of lower body injuries. So, and then my other team, full point PPR, running back Henry Jacobs, wide receivers start 3. We got McLaurin, absolutely starting him. Deante Johnson starting him, and then I would just go Corey Davis. You're starting those 3 guys, the first 3 guys personally. I do like Michael Pittman a lot this week, though. I won't lie, but I do like Corey Davis. I think he's going to be the wide receiver 1 for a while for this team. And I would start Corey Davis personally. Would you change Corey Davis and Pittman, or would you go Corey Davis?
No, I would leave probably as is. I'm kind of interested in this Jets offense. I don't know the last time
I think it has potential.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever said that in my life, but I am kind of excited about the Jets offense to see how it pans out.
I agree. I'm looking forward to this Jets offense. I know that a lot of people attach the stigma, it's the Jets, but this is basically a brand new team. Like they got rid of so many people last year. Like the coaching staff is all gone. They're going to change the team, and I think this team has potential. Debo or Landry, personally, I would go Jarvis Landry. I have 7. Wait, no, I missed one. Can't decide on this one. Montgomery, Chris Carson, Henderson, Gaskin as my RB2. Wow, those are a lot of good options. I mean, I would go Chris Carson, but those are a lot of good options to have at running back. Good job drafting, Josh. I have 7 teams. I only have Mike Glennon in 6. But I offered Glennon for Travis Kelce, Aaron Rodgers. No brainer. I'm taking it. Yeah, that's a really solid trade. Really. Mike Glennon's going to be a stud. Is he even on a team this year? He's probably like a backup. I wonder for who. Is he still in Jacksonville? Somebody look that up for me. And you think Mike Glennon? Who's he a part of this season? And you think Baker is a safe player? Should I stream a quarterback from waivers? I mean, it depends on who the other quarterbacks is. I do like Baker this upcoming week. It's going to be a high scoring game. So Baker should be fine for this upcoming week. But it just, once again, depends. If like a Trevor Lawrence is there, I'd probably go Trevor Lawrence personally. But it just depends on who your other options are. Brandon Cooks or Henderson at flex and PPR. Personally, I would go Henderson. I do like Cooks though this week. Ryan's shaking his head. I see that he agrees. Appreciate you guys. And once again, I want to say this to both TikTok. I see guys over there as well, and YouTube. Appreciate everybody being a part of the live stream. It means a lot to us that you guys hang out with us on Sunday and listen to our takes in fantasy football. We're here for you guys. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, think about subscribing. We post new content daily that will help you win your fantasy football league. So appreciate all of you guys. We have Tyson Williams or Debo Samuel in full point PPR. Personally, I would go Tyson Williams. Let's see if Ryan's shaking his head. Ryan's shaking his head. He likes Tyson Williams this week. And I must say, Samuel. You do love Debo Samuel?
I love him as like a player.
For like season long?
Yeah, like this is going to be a really weird game. I could see it getting ugly early and them leaning on the run.
I mean, we did think that Dallas game was going to get ugly early. We're definitely wrong about it. I mean, really everybody was, because that moved up to like nearly 9 points. I'm pretty sure, wasn't it? Or 8? It was one of them.
9. It was 9. I think at one point I saw it at 9.5.
9.5, yeah. So everybody got that game wrong.
Trayvon Diggs is Stephon Diggs' brother.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he's the one that shadowed
so
like
fucking
Evans.
good. Yeah, he's really good too, and he was underrated coming into the league.
I mean,
too.
I said this last night in my live stream. Dak looked fucking good. Dak looked really good in that game. Like there was a couple of throws where he just kind of didn't get the ball there, but my gosh, for not playing football in a while, having that ankle surgery, like that dude might win MVP. I would not be surprised if he won MVP this upcoming season. The Dallas team just looked pretty good. Like they made some stops on defense. They made some plays. I don't think the defense is there, but I mean, it looked decent for majority of that game. And that offense can beat anybody.
It'd be interesting to see the MVP, and because I think he was already favored to win comeback player of the year.
Player.
Pretty heavily,
he'll definitely win that.
But to see the jump from like Wednesday to like now, what the odds changed to. I don't know. I'm sure I'll be able to find that graphic and know, but that'd be interesting to look at because I'm sure he jumped quite a bit.
Oh, I'm sure too. He looked damn good. I was really impressed with Dak. We have Scary Terry or DJ Moore. Fantasy football. Personally, I would go Scary Terry. There's no, you don't have what's his face? Curtis Samuel there. He's now on IR. Really, Curtis Samuel or Scary Terry. I mean, he's a stud as is. So I just envision him being peppered with targets. I like him a lot this upcoming week. Couple other questions. Oh wait, we have Mike Glennon is the first quarterback rostered on. He's within us all. Wait, did we figure out who he plays for? Who does he play for? Not yet. Kyle, look that up real quick.
I thought Kyle was looking up. I can look it up.
Yeah, Kyle, come on. No, I'm just kidding. A couple of other questions. We got full PPR. We got Carson or Higgins at flex. Then Ayuk. He's Giants quarterback is where Mike Glennon's at for the Giants.
So he's going to be starting by week 4 for Danny Dimes?
For Danny Dimes, maybe. Maybe we'll have to see. We have Mike Lennon, or no, wait, a couple questions. So I would go Carson over Higgins at flex, and then Ayuk or Lockett at flex. Personally, I do have Ayuk. I did have Ayuk ranked higher, but I needed to adjust my rankings. I'm going to put Lockett over because I do think that game's going to be really solid, and I love Ayuk. It's just I think there's more potential with Lockett because this game should be more competitive throughout the game, and you don't have Xavier Rhodes like I talked about. So this secondary is going to be reeling. I started Dak, but the guy I played against started Amari Cooper. Oh, hey, at least you kind of like. How many points did Amari Cooper score? 35, like 35.
36 in our one league.
36, yeah. So he was really good. Is it worth it to put Deshaun Watson on the IR spot? I would put him on the IR spot.
Yeah.
I thought that this team definitely was going to play them, but kind of after what they said this past week, like we're going to reassess this week by week. I think there's going to be a chance that we see Deshaun Watson this year. I do think that there's going to be a chance where Houston's going to be like, unless they decide, hey, you know what, screw it. We want to win 0 games, which kind of looks like they definitely want to. So Amari Cooper 39, I have him. Yeah, he was a stud this past weekend. I was high on Amari Cooper heading into the season. I had him ranked as wide receiver. I had him as a top 10 wide receiver early in the season. Then I moved into 12. But I do love him. I love Amari Cooper. Not to do like a victory lap already. It's only 1 week, but both those guys are going to be studs. I think one of them had like 16 targets. The other one had 14. Like there's no more Michael Gallup. Like,
yeah, Cooper had like 16 targets for 13 catches for whatever. How many.
These guys both of them could be top 10 wide receivers.
Don't forget too that.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb could have had a massive day, but he dropped a couple. Dak missed them on a couple. Like, I mean, this was my number one offense to stack heading into the season, and you can see why. Like, they could easily lead the NFL in passing attempts and be a top 3 offense in scoring. Like this offense, that's why go out and get Ezekiel Elliott right now if you can. Zeke is going to be fine heading into the season.
It's a buy low. Nice little buy low.
Perfect buy low. And so is Mike Evans. Mike Evans will be fine. Let's keep going. So we have Kareem Hunt or Tyler Lockett at flex, non-PPR. I would go Tyler Lockett personally. Oh, that's Summer. Oh, what's up, Summer? Or what's up, Summer? That's that camera right there. We got Damien Harris or Daryl Henderson at flex, full point PPR. I would go Henderson just because I do think that there's a little bit more receiving potential where Damien Harris is just going to be, he's not going to see any receptions. It'll just be strictly rushing attempts. Yo, Aspire Sports is the best. Yo, what's up, my homie? How you doing? The best name in the business is the fantasy app PPR. Which one's that? Which fantasy app? Or is there one that's actually called fantasy? I don't know. I'm not sure. Is it called the fantasy app? Is that what it's just called? I'm not sure. Thank you guys. Thank you, Josh, for being a part of the live stream. Going to drink 2 Bang energy drinks today so I can jump and scream at hey, that's what's up. Steelers by 100 today. You saw Big Ben snacking on that Big Mac before the game. You know he's going to put up a solid game today. Packers are Washington's defense. Yo, I knew to start Coop. You told me McLaurin, but it's cool. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that Dallas would play as well as they did. But, hey, good job starting Amari Cooper because he could be the wide receiver 1 this week. For sure. He was a stud. Hope my mom has insurance on the TV. If we lose, I'm breaking it. Yo, what's up, Path? How you doing, homie? We got Path Hamilton. I need to put do not disturb on my phone because it's blowing up over here. It's very distracting. Not for TikTok. I appreciate you guys on TikTok. All right, so we got, and I appreciate you guys on YouTube. What's up, homies? So let's go. We got DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson with Devontae Smith at flex. Or should I just play both DJ Moore and Anderson, leave Smith on the bench? So I would go DJ Moore for sure, and then it's between Robbie Anderson and Devontae Smith. I technically do have Robbie Anderson ranked higher, but I don't think you can go wrong between him and Devontae Smith. Who would you go, Rye?
You know, I agree with you. I'd go Devontae Smith. Just it's always weird having the 2.
Well, I didn't say Devontae Smith.
Oh, well, then I guess we're gonna
disagree. We're gonna disagree. I do think that both of them are fine options, though. I do think Devontae Smith has so much potential. Like I said, I think he can be the best wide receiver in this draft class with Elijah Moore right there with him. I think those guys can be 1 and 2. So I would just go with your gut. I would go with your gut and really start whoever you want between Devontae Smith. I'm pretty sure I don't have my rankings pulled up here. I'm trying to memorize them from scratch, but I'm pretty sure I have honestly both these guys like ranked right by each other. I should pull this up. My Google Chrome did an update or something, so I don't have all my shit saved anymore. So I have to go like put everything in, which is really frustrating. I hate when that shit happens. So I don't have time to put in the password right now. Too many questions in chat. Deontay Johnson, Corey Davis, and Devontae Smith pick 2. Deontay Johnson for me. I do have Corey Davis ranked ahead of Devontae Smith. Who are you going, Ryan?
I was looking at bets. Sorry about that. I didn't even hear the question.
Are you going? Well, basically, it's between Corey Davis and Devontae Smith. Who do you like more?
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis.
That Jets offense, man.
Jets offense is going to be fire. I have Kamara. I'm playing against Dalvin Cook. Who do you think has the better game? I think Cook has. I think Cook could be RB1 this upcoming week against that Cincinnati front. But Kamara should be right there. Honestly, Kamara should be fine this upcoming week. I have Lamar at QB and have Hollywood. Do you think I should bench McLaurin? No, I would keep McLaurin. I know that you want to have like that combo, like stacking offenses, and especially your quarterback and wide receiver is great. But I would go Terry McLaurin. With no Curtis Samuel, he should be a target hog. Let's see. We have sup guys, start Chase Edmonds or Tyson Williams. I would start Chase Edmonds personally. I have a big game against Tyler today. I need some good advice. Hey, what's up, Benny boy? Blue Fantasy Football app. Oh, that's the NFL one. That's the NFL. Does NFL have like DFS? I mean, if this is your league, like your own personal league, you have to check the settings unless you're. Do they have their own DFS? I don't know if they have their own DFS.
I don't know if they have DFS. No, I don't know.
I'm not sure. To be honest, the NFL fantasy app. I don't know if they have. I don't think they have DFS. I just think it's your fantasy football leagues. Like I know Yahoo has DFS. I don't know if NFL does. Yeah.
Then I doubt it.
Probably not. I hate that you're a Steelers fan. It's so conflicting being subscribed to you. Hey, Steelers to the Super Bowl, baby. Well, hey, I think that, I am big on Steelers a little bit, but I also do think that I'm more realistic than most other Steelers fans, where a lot of Steelers fans are just kind of like blindly delusional a little bit. I think I'm a little bit more unbiased. And I kind of tell it how it is. I think so. A guy that I love, though, Deontay Johnson and Najee Harris, I think that I'm maybe a little bit higher than on other people or compared to other people, but I think I think Ramsey's going to shadow Mooney. It's going to be interesting how this works, okay? Because this is a big matchup, and if Matt Nagy's smart, he's going to move Allen Robinson to the slot at least like 40% of the time this upcoming week to avoid that shadow coverage by Ramsey. Moving Mooney out, but Mooney did play like all the snaps in the slot in preseason. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this works. Yo, what's up, Marcus? What's up, peeps? Here we go again, baby. Back for another season. Appreciate you being back. Football is back, baby. Football is back. Who's going to be the biggest upset this week? Let me know down in the chat. Who's going to be the biggest upset? What should you see? Yeah. You should see what Ramsey said about Mooney. Oh, what did he say about Mooney? I don't even know. I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
Let me know, Uzi. What did he say about Mooney? Thank you, Buzz. Appreciate you. How do you have Montgomery ranked today? He's my RB2 behind Antonio Gibson on my team. I don't have Montgomery as a very good play this week. Won't lie to you. I have him, I believe, like borderline top 25. I think he's actually outside my top 25. I just don't like him this upcoming week. It's a brutal matchup. But you got to play him if you have him, and there's no other guys. Bears over Rams biggest upset. Oh, that would be a big upset. That I would be surprised if that happened. Corey Davis or OBJ, half PPR. Corey Davis, Viscus or Higgins. I have Higgins. I would personally go T Higgins. Let's see here. What rookie do you think is going to have a breakout week 1? What rookie?
I'll go Zach Wilson. I don't know if that's really like a breakout.
Yeah, I don't know what classifies really as a breakout.
but they're dogs in the game. So like I could see them getting a win, and then us talking about Zach Wilson getting a dub for the Jets tomorrow.
That's a solid. I was going to say Elijah Moore, but I feel like that's easy. I don't know if that would really classify as a breakout.
Maybe both of them. Let's do both of them.
All right, let's go with the
How
stack.
good that combo is.
Yeah, let's go with that stack. Russell Wilson, Elijah Moore stack. How valuable is Ben Roethlisberger MVP? Yes, he's the MVP this season. You guys better put your bets in now. Big Ben or Aaron Rodgers? Obviously, Big Ben. No, it's like Aaron Rodgers. Will the Bills beat the Steelers today? Oh, 50-50 already. Let's see. Let's go. I moved down the chat a little bit too fast. Okay, we have Gibson or Aaron Jones start. I would go Aaron Jones. Ryan shaking his head. Yes. Aaron Jones or Gibson. Yeah. I have Lamar at QB, but I have Hollywood. I would definitely go once again. Go Terry McLaurin. Don't stack. I wouldn't stack the Hollywood. Anybody starting Eckler? Yes, start Eckler. I know that he was a little bit hurt, but it depends on who your other options are. But I wouldn't get too cute with it. Like Eckler's still a top 20 guy this week. Juju, Marquise Brown, or Melvin Gordon at flex. I would go Juju. I want to see how this Melvin Gordon situation and this. You said it right, Ryan. Is it the lowest scoring or the second lowest scoring game?
Lowest by far.
It's the lowest.
41, dude. And I wouldn't. 41. It's going to come down from that. I bet.
So this game might not break 40 points. So I really don't want any part of this game except Jerry Judy. Hold on. I want to get caught up. Would you trade Myles Gaskin for Zeke? Like I would rather have the Zeke side, Sterling Shepard or Tyrell Williams. I would go honestly with Sterling Shepard. If it's PPR, yes, it's PPR. So I would go with Sterling Shepard personally. Let me get caught up real quick. I'm almost caught up. I have Montgomery. Do you think I should bench him, put McLaurin at wide receiver, and have Hollywood on my flex and keep Montgomery, or start Damien Harris or Tyson Williams standard? So me personally, I would start Tyson Williams over David Montgomery. Julio. Personally, that's what I would do. But if you want to keep it as is, keep it. Mostert or Higgins, I would go Mostert. That's non-PPR too. I would go Mostert. Elijah Moore, if it's non-PPR, Ryan's shaking his head. ASAP, what's up? We got Elijah Moore, Kenny Galladay, or Jacoby Myers, flex PPR. Who are you going, Ryan?
I'll resort that one to you. I don't even know. I didn't see the question, and I have people coming in here talking to me. Elijah Moore, Kenny Galladay, or Jacoby Myers. I'm going to go Elijah Moore on that one. Dude, I feel literally so stupid saying how much I like the Jets offense, but I'm going to do it because I've dug myself in this hole at this point that I'm either going to like die in it or just come out like just shining in it. So I'm just going to keep going.
All right. I would personally go with Jacoby Myers. But honestly, I think that all of them are decent for like, I don't really like Kenny Galladay a whole lot, but for compared to these other guys, I don't mind them like in this range of guys. But I would probably go Jacoby Myers. I do think he has a solid matchup in the slot this week against a Miami team. And real quick, a quick plug. If you're going to do some betting today, go over to BetUS. Use our code that you can go to aspiresportshow.com. You can click on the BetUS, and it will take you there to BetUS where you can sign up. And if you sign up for BetUS today, you get a 125% deposit match that you can use. And then you win some bets today. You take out the money that you deposited, and then you just play with free money. So BetUS, their casino is really solid. Their sports book is pretty good. Like it's not as good as FanDuel, but it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. I won't lie to you. It's getting there. And also their casino, like I said, is actually really sweet. So if you're somebody that likes the casino, like go over to BetUS and you get a sign up bonus today. BetUS, you can find it down in the description. Click the link and it'll take you there. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button and follow if you appreciate what we do. Marvin Jones or Devontae Smith, personally, I would go Marvin Jones. Sutton or Tyson Williams, I would go Tyson Williams. All right, back to YouTube. Appreciate you people over on TikTok hanging out as well. I'm over on TikTok. I'm flipping between YouTube and TikTok. So I appreciate everybody hanging out today. So we got biggest upset is when Mike Glennon Optimize is big on Mike Glennon. He could start for no, I think this team gives Daniel Jones every chance he has this upcoming season. Don't like Daniel Jones though. Mostert, Higgins, or Gaskin at flex, non-PPR. So Mostert, go Mostert. Van, any change with Chase over Chark? Also, any concern with Beckham not playing, seeing limited snap? There is a little concern about Beckham, especially because it's a 4:00 game, and you better have a backup plan if he doesn't go. So there is some concern. I would still go Chase over Chark personally. How do you feel, Ryan?
No, yeah, I agree with that. The OBJ situation is tough too. Like if you're going between two people and one of them plays at 1:00 and he's healthy, I'd be playing him like 9 out of 10 times out of 10 before OBJ, just because there's a lot of uncertainty. I think even if he does play, he's not 100%. So I'm out on OBJ today.
All right, True. What's up, Big Ben? We got Big Ben Stritzy in the game. How many games will Kyle win this year in fantasy? Probably like 0. Diggs going for 150 yards today. Probably he could. I wouldn't be surprised. Robert Tonyan will have a breakout season. We got Devontae Smith or Darnell Mooney and flex. I would go Devontae Smith, Cowboy Brown. Appreciate you guys hanging out in the live chat. Appreciate everybody over on TikTok as well. Appreciate you guys on YouTube. Let's go to the next one. We have Jerry Judy or Corey Davis. I still have, me personally, I have Corey Davis. Ryan shaking his head. He agrees. Yeah. Who do you like as a defense, Vikings or Washington football team? Me personally, I would go the Viking or Washington football team. I think this could be the best defense in all of football. So I would go the Washington football team. It agrees. Interesting. FanDuel has Burrow the second favorite odds to have this most passing yards today. I mean, this is a team. I think this team also this team is going to be in contention with Dallas as the most passing attempts. They could definitely do it because of volume, pure volume. This could be a team that honestly every single week they throw the ball 50 times. I wouldn't be surprised. What NFL team will score first defensive touchdown today? Ooh, that's interesting. That's an interesting question. Who do you think, Ryan? Who scores the first defensive touchdown today? What team?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Right, Houston.
I'm going to say San Francisco.
That's a solid one, yeah.
I'll say San Francisco. So Jacksonville, San Francisco. Eckler or Gibson start non-PPR. I would go Gibson. Do you yell at your TV and stand up during Steelers games? Yeah. I mean, if you don't yell and stand up, what are you doing? You're not a true fan. If you're not standing up and yelling at the TV, what the hell is that called? You ain't a true fan. You're Fran. Aunt Franny. Marvin Jones, Devontae Smith, or Jerry Judy. For me, geez, those guys are all in the same tier for me. Out of all of them, I'm pretty sure I have Jerry Judy ranked the highest currently. No, I think I have Marvin Jones actually ranked the highest. So technically I would go Marvin Jones. I don't know if it's him or Jerry Judy. Once again, I'm logged out of my freaking rankings here. And I know that I don't even know if I know the password. I'd have to probably reset my password. I ain't got time for that. But personally, those guys are in the same tier for me. Yeah. Pull up my rankings real quick. Yeah. Thank you. Personally, I would go those guys are all in the same tier for me. And I love Marvin Jones. I love Devontae Smith and Jerry Judy. There's some question marks about this game. And does he see shadow coverage? That's really the biggest concern that I have for Jerry Judy this week. I'm pretty sure though, I have Marvin Jones ranked the highest. So I would go Marvin Jones at flex, Brandon Cooks, Daryl Henderson, or Corey Davis PPR. I would personally go Daryl Henderson. I have ranked the highest as well. I want to play Damien Harris and Tyson Williams over Saquon and Eckler. I mean, if you're going to go one, I would go Tyson Williams personally. Oh, wait, over Saquon and Eckler, I would definitely go Saquon. I would go both of them. But if you want to get a little ballsy, I mean, go for it. It's your fantasy team, but I wouldn't do it. Let's see who has upside half PPR. We got Jack Doyle, Conklin, Hunter Henry. Personally, I would go Tyler Conklin because he's going to play all the snaps. So I think there's upside there for a guy that could possibly get a touchdown today. I mean, that's what you're hoping at this range. The other guys have really bad matchups anyways. Flex, we got Cooper Kupp, Chase Edmonds, Mike Davis, Callaway, or Tyson Williams. Deante, is this PPR or
Standard.
Myself. So things
Cooper
have
Kupp, that's
changed. If you're watching, things have changed. Trey Sermon is inactive.
Oh my gosh. Trey Sermon is inactive. Man, that is big news. That is really big news. What? That's crazy. Is it a healthy scratch or is he hurt? I don't know
I
if
have no idea.
was Trey Sermon questionable heading into this game. We need to
I
look
don't
that
think
up.
that he was being listed at all. Like, I don't remember hearing his name this week. It's like, hey, did not practice. I don't.
Bruh. So if he's a healthy scratch, that's very concerning. I don't know what to take of that. Like, that's massive. Now, Mostert now totally jumps the ranks for me and is like a borderline top 10 play, like an RB1 with no Trey Sermon there. Like, Mostert is absolutely now a must start. And as long as he doesn't get hurt, he should have a massive week in fantasy football. Like, this is really big news. This is something we have to keep an eye on because if Trey Sermon wasn't just a healthy scratch, this is a little concerning for his value going forward. All right, so I'm going to catch up real quick. Somebody find out if Trey Sermon had any issues practicing real quick. Let me know in the chat. Kyle, if you can, just look at it real quick for me too, please. Laviscus or Edmonds, I would go Chase Edmonds. I think I missed. We had flex. Oh, that was standard. So we have Cooper Kupp, Chase Edmonds, Mike Davis. Just flex, I would personally go Cooper Kupp, Deante. Yeah. I remember being at work during the Steelers-Patriots game with the tuck rule, and me and my other fans, coworkers stopped working. Yes, no, that game was massive. I think that you mean when he like fumbled when Jesse James. I think that's what you mean. Tyler Conklin and Jonnu Smith. Personally, I would go Jonnu Smith at that point. Rank my lineup. We have half point PPR. Or who should be my starting lineup? We have Callaway, Chris Carson, Henry. I would leave it as is. I would leave that team as is. Standard. Deante, yes, I would go. Cooper Kupp is the guy that would go. Do you think Patrick Mahomes is a safe play today? He's a little risky, honestly. No, honestly, I do think that there's a chance that this Browns defense could be really good this upcoming season. It depends on the secondary. They made some improvements to the secondary. If they can make some stops today, hey, this game's going to get really interesting. Zach Moss out for the Bills, too. Fire up Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary is a good play today. I don't want to say a good play because that's getting a little crazy, but I do think he has PPR potential. I don't expect him to really have much in the rushing game, but with Zach Moss being out, Devin Singletary now becomes a viable option today. Man, what is that? What's wrong with Zach Moss? He's hurt too.
No, dude.
Healthy scratch. Holy oh gosh, that's bad. That's bad if you had Zach Moss. I wanted to avoid this situation heading into the season, really. I even made a video on it, though. I said, if there's one guy I want Devin Singletary because Zach Moss was just going too high for no reason. I really wanted just to avoid this backfield as a whole, but Devin Singletary would be the guy. And hey, if you have Devin Singletary, you need some flex options. Yes. We have Landry or Mike Williams, Landry, Claypool, or Debo. I would go Claypool. Sorry, Ryan, trying to catch up here. Trying to fill 2 flex spots in a standard league. Damian Harris, Chase Edmonds, and T. Higgins. I love the channel. Appreciate you, Chucks. I would personally go in a standard scoring league. I would go, if it's standard scoring, I would go Damian. It's really close between Damian Harris and Chase Edmonds. I do have technically, if it's standard scoring, I would probably go Damian Harris and T. Higgins. It's really close between Edmonds and Harris, though. I envision them kind of like right around the same. But in a standard, I do think that Damian Harris has a little bit more potential. Big Ben is at McDonald's today. Will not be reporting. I wouldn't be surprised. Zach Moss is apparently a healthy scratch. Should I start Singletary over Mix? No. Don't get that crazy.
No.
Yeah, don't get that crazy. I do think that Devin Singletary is a decent play if you need like a flex. Eckler or Mostert. Honestly, at this point, I'm going Mostert. No, like I know you drafted Eckler, but there's no Trey Sermon. Mostert's going to be the guy. Chase or Waddle.
Just to confirm,
Chase. Hold on real quick, Ryan. Gordon or Jacobs, I would go Jacobs. Singletary, Ayuk, Damian Harris in the flex, go Ayuk. Mostert or Myles Gaskin long term. For me, I would still want Myles Gaskin. Hunt or Laviska, I would go Hunt. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was just saying, just to confirm, it is official. Eckler is active today.
Eckler is active. It's official. So we have Chark, Elijah Moore, Connor Hines, or Latavius Murray for flex. Ryan, who are you going?
That was a lot of names, and I thought that I was going to look down and be able to look at them, but was that not a YouTube question, or I just don't see it? See.
Wayne Gallman's what? Inactive? Ah, damn it. That's disappointing. Chark. So out of those guys, personally, I would go Elijah Moore at flex, right? Half PPR, Ertz or Conklin. I would personally go Ertz for this week. Should I now drop Sermon for Mostert? Yeah, I would drop Sermon for Mostert. There's nobody else to drop. That's it. Then sell high on Mostert. You could do that. I don't know if somebody would take it though, but I mean, you could try. I would probably pick up Mostert though. He's really hard not to play. The running back room is this year. It's incredibly thin for what? Oh, are you saying for the Steelers or for who? Optimize Mostert or Clyde flex spot non PPR. Oh, I think I'd still. That's tough because now he definitely moves up to there. Yeah, like. Oh, for the Bills running back situation. Well, they have Matt Breida, don't they? Don't they have Matt Breida? I think they have Matt Breida. Which I mean, who cares really? But
Matt Breida cares, dude. Matt Breida cares.
Matt Breida cares. Yeah, I think that honestly, Singletary is the best option out of all of them, though. I don't think he's very very good, but I think he's the better option. Let me see. So yeah, who are your other options, Van? I forget because it's really hard to sit.
That's the one where I said, are you playing in a 4-person league? Because he had like Cook and Jones.
Yeah, he had really good. I'd probably go Edwards, but it is close now. It's definitely a discussion between him and Mostert. 49ers, Trey Sermon, Josh Norman, Manuel Mosley. Those are all the guys are inactive. Josh Norman. Didn't he just get signed recently?
Yeah, he just got signed like this week, I think.
Okay. Starting Rager over OBJ if OBJ is not active. Hey, I feel you.
I mean, you just got to do it.
Yeah, because he plays at 1. That game's at 1. Half PPR, Ertz or Conklin, go Ertz. Should I start Singletary, Mike Davis, Corey Davis, or Robbie Anderson for flex and RB? Choose 2.
1 for RB, 1 for flex.
Now that Wayne Gallman's out too, that's big because really it's going to be the Mike Davis show. They're both really tough matchups though. Philly and Pittsburgh. Is this PPR? Well, it really doesn't matter because I would probably go Mike Davis. It is really close. 1
running back and then another for flex.
I would go Corey Davis definitely at flex. That would be my flex, and then it's really between. Well, it's obviously between those guys for running back, but it's close. I personally would probably go Mike Davis, but now, especially with the news, it's really close between Singletary. Who would you go?
No, I mean, yeah, that one's tough. I personally don't like Singletary that much because I feel like even when he's had the opportunity to be the guy, he still hasn't really done too much. Mm-hmm. So I'd go Mike Davis and Corey Davis.
Edmonds or Swift PPR, I would go Swift. Kenny Golladay or Juju Smith-Schuster. Personally, I would go Juju. Montgomery, yes. Wait, no. Did I miss one? Yeah. I mean, running backs in general, I feel like it's harder than last year. Well, you have a lot of running backs already hurt this upcoming season, which is really disappointing. Deante Johnson or Brandon Cooks. I would go Deante Johnson. David Montgomery, Hunt or Davis. Personally, I would go Hunt. Full point PPR too. Yes, I would go Hunt. Pick up Tyson Williams to trade. I trade now. Take what I can or wait to see if he performs well. It depends on who you're getting. I mean, especially right now, you have like an hour basically to really try to get a trade done. So at this point, you're kind of hoping the best here. So I would go, I would try to trade him for like a top 70 player, but if you can't get one, then obviously you got to hold him. JaMychal Hasty might have a sneaky. This is true. Is he the next guy up for the? Because you have Jeff Wilson now out. Is he? Because you did have Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman's not there anymore. So
Yeah,
I guess
JaMychal Hasty's a
technically
good call.
he is the
I
next
guess he
man
would be
up.
the next guy up. Yeah.
Flex options: T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, Gibson, Woods, Mostert. Is this
Gibson.
PPR? No, he's in the non-PPR league, right? Van Thomas has been non-PPR.
Yeah.
It is a 6-man league. Gibson. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to go Mostert. I think Mostert has a big game today. Honestly, with this word, no Trey Sermon. Yes, Hasty probably will be involved a little bit, but they obviously feel confident. Well, if it is a healthy scratch, I don't know. But I would go Mostert. I think he's in store for a big game. Sorry, all the tight end questions. Hey, ask as many as you want. Don't feel bad about asking questions. That's what we're here for. Kenny Galladay or Juju PPR, I would go Juju. Pitts is playing Buffalo D. That's why I'm hesitant to start Deante. Deante is going to be a PPR machine. Don't worry about Deante. He's going to be just fine. So what is it? Furtzker, Conklin, or Hunter Henry? I mean, at that point, I'm going Conklin. I don't feel great about it.
I'm going Furtzker.
I
like Furtzker. Yeah.
But Conklin's going to start he's going to have all the snaps at tight end. So, I mean, that's what you're looking for. A guy that's going to have opportunity. There should be opportunity. Most of JT, still go JT. Antonio Gibson, AJ Brown play football today. Hey, I know MP's excited. And, well, no, actually that's tomorrow. Josh Jacobs. Deontay Johnson, garbage. Yeah, right. That's cap. That's cap. Deontay Johnson's not garbage. Claypool or Lockett, go Lockett. Jamar Chase or Elijah Moore, I would go, in that case, Jamar Chase. Cooks or Galladay, Cooks, Flex, T. Higgins, Eckler, Mostert. At this point, I'm starting Mostert. I'm all in on Mostert this week. I've had to kind of think on my feet here with Trey Sermon being out now for this game. Mostert, fire him up. I think he's going to be a top 12 play this week. Love Mostert. Let's see. Devontae Smith or Boyd. We already know who Homer Ryan's going with. No, I'm just kidding. Devontae Smith's going to be a solid play.
Did you get?
I think he's going to be good this season.
Uzi asked if the Sermon news is really concerning.
Well, is he a healthy scratch or is he hurt? That's the biggest question mark right now. I don't know if it's a healthy scratch or not. Like if it's a healthy scratch, then yes, this is concerning news for sure.
Yeah.
Basically, what you're saying though is Raheem Mostert stonks.
Raheem Mostert stonks, baby, stonks in the biggest way possible. Jarvis Landry better than real life. Jarvis Landry is better than Deontay Johnson. I don't know about that. Deontay Johnson's going to be a healthy scratch. He is a healthy scratch, dude. That is very concerning. Yes, very concerning for Trey Sermon. That he's a healthy scratch already. And same with Zach Moss. I mean, this is concerning for Zach Moss now. Yeah. Right now, Devin Singletary is the guy to have in Buffalo. And this is concerning for both those guys, especially for the first game of the season. Like that's no bueno.
And we're going to get a live look at all the people who came in and got Trey Sermon, put him on their roster and won't change their roster after game time. This is going to be a live look at them.
No, it stonks.
No.
We have Mike Williams, OBJ, or Corey Davis, 1 point PPR. I would go Corey Davis. L ratio. What is the seat? I don't understand when people put a chair down. What's the chair mean? I'm too old for that. I'm a millennial, not a Gen X kid. Opinion: if I start Mostert at RB1, Flex, Higgins, or Eckler, I would go Eckler. The clown. I just saw that. Deante or Robbie Anderson, I would go Deante. I got to catch up with these questions real quick on YouTube. So I would go Devontae Smith, Luke. Go Devontae Smith. Should I grab Le'Veon Bell from free agency and keep him on the bench in case he ends up starting? It depends on who you're dropping. I know a lot of people like to think, oh, Le'Veon Bell, but come on. Le'Veon Bell's a fraction of what he used to be. Let's see. Aaron Jones or Gibson? Aaron Jones. Go Aaron Jones. Could even go Callaway. Who's Okay, I would go. No, Luke, I would still go Devontae Smith. I'm about to make my projections. Let's hear it, MP. MP always gets something right. He does a pretty good job with his crazy takes there. One of them usually hits. I'm just kidding, MP. You actually do a pretty good job. Mostert, Gibson, or JT, choose two. So I'm going Mostert and JT right now. I know Ryan's going to say Gibson and JT, right?
No, I mean that's I'm fine with that. I mean it's your three very good options. So I mean with certain scenarios of it, I mean we're going to go back and forth because I think Gibson's a good player with a good opportunity, but I'm with you on that one because the matchups are a bit different. Don't love Washington's matchup. Chargers have a good defense. They're good until Derwin James gets hurt, and then everyone starts getting hurt on that defense because that's one of the more injury-plagued teams, like in all of the leagues. So let's see what the next one is. Actually, I'll give you a bet while I'm waiting while Ty's talking over there. Niners cover. I think the Lions are in trouble as an organization this year. Honestly, you look at the outlook for that team, they might win like 2 or 3 games this year. So I like the Niners -9 if you're a sports bet person. The Bet US plug here. Niners -9. I think they win by at least 2 touchdowns. So even if you want to alt it up a bit to like 13.5, like I said, 2 touchdowns. I'm thinking the Niners win by. The defense is good. I think Garoppolo is manageable with the assets that they have on that offense, and Mostert has a good game. So I'm all into the Niners -9. I have the Eagles Falcons game going over 48. I think that's going to end up being a pretty high scoring game. And then the alt under the Giants Broncos, you could keep it at 41, but honestly, you have the opportunity to bet it up and not lose too much juice. So the under 44 in that game is what I went up to. Like I said, it's only -144 to get us to 40, -145 to get it to 44. The Broncos have a really good defense. The Giants offense is pretty concerning, as well as their defense. I don't love the offensive line for the Giants one bit. And that's what's also concerning about Saquon and why he dropped in like a lot of drafts this year. It's just there's so many question marks to that offense and the defense and the team as a whole. So 44 is a pretty, I mean, it's high because that could be like a 17-10, 17-14 type game and go way under. So betting the under in the Giants Broncos.
All right, good job, Rye. Let's get caught up on these questions real quick. So we have Debo or Taysom Williams and PPR. I would go Taysom Williams. I'm about to make my bold projections. Could you explain Ertz over Conklin? It's just a better. So for Ertz, they're kind of like sharing snaps. At least they were in the preseason. And I just envision both of them being involved today in a plus matchup against Atlanta. And Conklin is kind of, he's not really an athlete. So I just think that Conklin is going to be like maybe like a 3-catch guy for 20 some yards. And then if he scores a touchdown, he's going to have value, where I envision Ertz being a little bit more involved in this offense and just having a better day, especially in PPR. And he doesn't need to have a touchdown to really be valuable, where I think Conklin kind of does. Mostert, Gibson. So we got that one. Antonio Gibson, 100 plus 25 fantasy points today. Ooh, there's a bold take. Love that. Let's go Deante, new slant boy. Hey, he's going to be more than a slant boy. He's going to be amazing. Let's go. How do you think Russ will do this season? Russ will cook this season. Let's go. We have Deontay Johnson, Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, start 2. Allen Robinson, Robert Woods. It's really close between Allen Robinson and Deontay Johnson, but I would give the nod to Allen Robinson. Let's go with some more questions here. I don't know where I got left off. So we have a bunch. Carson, 90 yards, 4 catches, 20 fantasy points today. Ertz, 25 plus. Nick Chubb, 115 yards rushing. That could definitely happen. A.J. Brown, 80 yards, 1 touchdown, 22 fantasy points for MP today. Darren Waller, 8 catches, 100 yards. I hope so. I have him on a lot of my fantasy teams. He's been massively underrated in his career in Detroit. Yes. Oh, yeah. Didn't somebody ask me that? How do I feel about
Stafford hype?
Stafford, yes. I like Stafford. I like Stafford heading into the season long. I like Stafford. How do you start Debo or Laviscus at flex? Personally, I would go with Debo. I think it's really close. Those guys are kind of like the same kind of players. I envision them. More of the line of scrimmage. Let's see here. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to go Lavisca because that game is going to be a little bit more competitive throughout. So where the game for San Francisco, I don't envision San Francisco having to throw the ball a whole lot in the second half. Full PPR flex, super flex spots, Mostert, Woods, Fitzpatrick. Which 2 do you start? I mean, in super flex, I'm going Fitzpatrick and Mostert.
Yeah.
Mixon finishes
I like Woods.
RB1 today. Uzi with RB1 Mixon, the number one overall running back. Is that what you're saying? That's a bold take. It's a nightmare. Matthew Berry just called me and told me he divorced his wife because he isn't high. Well, that's unfortunate for Matthew Berry. I don't know what his wife looks like though. Let's see here. Pick an NFL player. Go ahead. I'll pick an NFL player. Devontae Smith. Hey, that was the first guy that came off my mind. I must be high on him. Is DK a guaranteed 20 points with the injury that popped up yesterday? I'm assuming you mean right, DK Metcalf? Yeah, and you're talking about Xavier Rhodes? Yes, I think he's good for 20 points today. I like DK Metcalf this week. I like that whole offense this week. Who is Robert Woods' corner back matchup in Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp? I forget who it is. I was looking at it. I don't remember the names, but the group of cornerbacks that Chicago has currently are a bunch of unproven guys right now. So I don't know exactly who he's going to see, but I would personally go Robert Woods. But Cooper Kupp is really a really fine play this upcoming week as well. Pepe? Who's Pepe? Is Pepe a soccer player? Isn't he a soccer player? Kaká?
I don't know.
I know that Kaká is. Kaká or Pepe? Pepe. Who's Pepe? I don't know who he plays for. Who does
I just started both.
Kaká play? I know, isn't he from Brazil? My damn dog's barking. Kaká. Robert Woods, Robbie Anderson, or Ayuk. I would go Robert Woods. Robert Woods personally. Hold on. Ryan, take over for a minute so I can get my dog to shut up.
We'll go game by game. Kyle, are you in? Do you want to do some predictions for the games today?
First touchdown? Yeah, do it.
First touchdown? You know who I went? I went earlier in the week, honestly, for the Washington Redskins game. There was a lot of value, like a lot. I think he was plus 2,500 for Damien Brown to score the first touchdown in that game. And with Curtis Samuel going out, I think he comes in as the number 3 in that game. Like I said, plus 2,500 for a guy that's going to step in, and a lot of people were very high on him. I know Tyler was one of them coming into the draft this year. So I do like Damien Brown to step in, and for plus 2,500, I mean, toss a couple dollars on it and see what happens as far as the first touchdown there in that Washington game. But the Seahawks and the Colts game, honestly, we talked about it earlier. The over-under is only at 48.5, but I could see this becoming a shootout like we discussed earlier. And honest, I kind of like the Colts in this one. They're 3-point dogs to the Seahawks, and I know the Seahawks usually start off the season pretty well, and Russ will cook this year. But if Wentz can play as he can, honestly, I think the Colts get the upset here and beat the Seahawks. Kyle, you in? What do you think? I was just saying what you thought about the Seahawks and the Colts. The game is a matchup. Who do you think wins?
Mute myself here. That's a good question. It's the Colts.
The Colts.
Yeah, you think they're gonna win?
Yeah, I like the upset there. I think the Colts. Everyone's healthy. Their defense is good, and I think slightly underrated. I think they kept him in a lot of games. So with everyone healthy, I think the Colts get the upset here.
It is such a good matchup because there's question marks on both sides of the ball. You know, you have the Colts offense is a big question mark, but their defense has solidified themselves as a top tier defense. But that's the same thing on the flip side with the Seahawks. They're a high caliber offense that has a lot of potential, but their defense is very suspect. They have 0 pass rush. So it's going to be that's a good one. But I still think Seattle will come out on top personally.
And I think the over-under on this is kind of low. I see it going over 48.5 now that I'm looking at that. I think this should be up in the low 50s. So I like the over in that game, the Seahawks versus the Colts. The next one down the list, if you want to discuss it, I'll lean to you on this one, the Steelers-Bills game. What do you think? What do you think the outlook is on that one?
God, I wouldn't ask me. No, I don't know. Steelers offense, big question mark as of right now. They're mostly their O-line. Obviously Big Ben, if you really want to throw that in there too. But, I still have questions about the Bills defense too. The Bills, they kind of fell off last year towards the end of the year. So coming into this game, it's going to be a big thing. But same thing with the Steelers defense, as their secondary going to come together with losing a couple pieces. So it's I think Bills will probably win, but I think it'll be a closer one than people think.
The line's at 6, and I know you guys are going to think I said this for a certain reason, but I think the Bills cover 6. I think they win by a touchdown. Ty, are you back? Looks like he's on TikTok.
Yeah, we're good. You're
good? All right.
Yeah. Robbie Anderson is Swift. I would go Swift. And let's go back to some YouTube questions here. Woods or Keenan Allen? I would go Robert Woods. Thanks, guys. And thanks at Luke. Hey, appreciate every single one of you being a part of the live stream. And if you haven't already, do me a big favor. Give me a like, follow, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate you. Hurts or Herbert? I would personally go Hurts this upcoming weekend. Hit the like button, everybody. Shout out to Aspire Sports. Shout out to J4 being a part of the stream. Shout out to everybody being a part of the stream today. Is Quentin Nelson playing? Yes, I believe yesterday they said he was playing. I can't confirm. I believe they said yesterday that he was going to play today. So do I start Jamal Charles or Marshawn Lynch? Jamal Charles will always have a special place in my heart. I love Jamal Charles. I'll always be a Jamal Charles fan. Dak or Murray? Well, it's a little late to start Dak. So Kyler Murray is the guy you want to go. As commish, how do you control bad trades? Hey, you let it happen. Unless there's collusion involved, definite collusion, then you got to step in. But people make bad trades. It is what it is. And unfortunately, everybody had their shot at making a bad trade. Just the person made a better bad trade. So it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Trevor Lawrence is my QB. Who should I start between LaVisca or Higgins? I would still go Higgins. It is hard to not stack your options here, but I would go Higgins. He's just too good to not start. Big Ben had a good season last year, even with the worst run game. I don't know why everyone puts him outside their top 10 quarterbacks this year. I mean, I put him outside as a Steelers fan, but I do think he's going to have a solid season this upcoming year.
100%
I do.
Optimize you.
Do
you
Julio
really
or
think,
Woods?
though, but there was a rankings thing that came out earlier. Do you really think he's not a top 15 quarterback in the league? I mean, was Ryan Tannehill that much better than him last year statistically? No. They were pretty much identical. And Ryan Tannehill was ranked like 10th or 11th on the list. I just don't get that. Makes no sense to me. But that's just my two. Plus, Tannehill has arguably the top 3 wide receiver in the league in A.J. Brown. I think he's
his score this year with his run game. Obviously, if you're comparing the two, they had quite the different options last year. Like Big Ben obviously was not working with much compared to Tannehill that was working with everything. But I feel like fantasy wise, I definitely like.
Yeah, if we're gonna talk fantasy, it's different. Yeah. 100%. But it wasn't even a fantasy thing. It was just a ranking. It was just a general ranking.
Let's get back to YouTube. Okay, so Matt Ryan or Joe Burrow. I would personally go Joe Burrow this upcoming weekend. Thank you, Hayden, for being a part of the live show. I can't start both because I have Keenan Allen and Diggs. So Tanner, I personally would go Julio and Robert Woods over Keenan Allen. That's just me personally this week. I think both of them have very good matchups. If you want to still go with Keenan Allen, totally go with it though. But personally, I would go those guys over Keenan Allen this upcoming week. Robbie or hold on, I gotta get caught up here. Mike Davis or Mostert? Mostert. No Trey Sermon. No Trey Sermon means Mostert should have a massive day against the league's worst run defense last year in Detroit. Could you explain Ertz over Conklin? Yeah, thought I did, but I'll explain it. Wait, real quick. I skipped Megan. Greetings from Nova. Northern Virginia. Struggling with some decisions. Do I play Eckler? Have Chubb as my RB2 and have Tyson Williams and Damian Harris are available? I would still go Eckler. He's a full go today. I do like Damian Harris today and Tyson Williams, but I would still go Eckler. And thank you, Megan, for being a part of the live show. Could you explain Ertz over Conklin? So with just Conklin, I just envision him I like Conklin because he's going to be playing all the snaps for this offense. But with Ertz, I just envision it's a better matchup for Ertz. Also, it's a really good matchup for Conklin. But I just think that Ertz is a better player receiving option than Conklin. I don't Conklin isn't really an athlete. So I envision him catching 4 balls today for like 30 yards. And he's going to need a touchdown, where Ertz could definitely have 5 catches today. He's just a better receiving option, in my opinion. But if you want to go Conklin, certainly go Conklin. It is close. Both of those guys, I have them ranked around each other. Tyler Lockett or Robbie Anderson, I would go Tyler Lockett. How do you feel about Cowboys bounce back after the L? I like the Cowboys. They should be fine this upcoming season. Should I start Odell at my wide receiver 2? It depends on who you have. There's some concern right now that Odell may not play. So you have to have a backup option for Odell. Start Cowboys O-line now, or when Zach Martin. I don't fully trust that report. And you better have a better option than not to sit Saquon. That's all I got to say. Yeah, I mean, I still am starting him. Do I flex Tyson Williams, Ayuk, or Damian Harris? That's really tough, Megan. It's really close between Tyson Williams and Ayuk. Technically, I do have Ayuk ranked higher, I believe. But I do like Tyson Williams a lot. If this is standard, I would go Tyson Williams. If it's PPR, I would go Ayuk. My wife and 3 kids have been living in the condo from the money we betting on Colin Cowherd's Blazing 5 after brutally failing the entirety of last year. We're getting is Colin Cowherd's Blazing 5 not good? I never watched Colin Cowherd. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted anymore. No, I was muted. You're right. Okay, if Eckler is in, do I flex Tyson Williams and Damian Harris or Brandon Ayuk? I would still go Brandon Ayuk. It's PPR. I would go Brandon Ayuk, but it's really close between Tyson Williams. I like Tyson Williams a lot this upcoming week and season long. I think he's going to have this job. So real quick, some questions over here on TikTok. Should I start Kyle Pitts or TJ Hawkinson? I would go Kyle Pitts for this week. I have Laviscus. Or well, you don't like that?
No, I know Kyle Pitts is going to go off on the Eagles. So sorry, it sucks sitting Hawkinson.
It is tough sitting Hawkinson for sure, but this is a really tough matchup for Hawkinson. I have Lavisca or put Kenyon Drake. No, I would go. Okay. Oh, wait. Or put Kenyon Drake at flex. So that's interesting. Would you go Lavisca? Okay. So the guy has OBJ,
okay,
but he can put Lavisca there, or go Kenyon Drake on Monday night. What would you do?
I'd probably go Lavisca.
Lavisca. Yeah. Okay. Is Odell playing? I'm not sure yet. I don't think there's been a report yet as of right now if he's playing.
Yeah, we're not gonna know.
Yeah, we won't know until honestly probably after.
He said 90 minutes
right
before
after
game time.
Yeah,
he's not giving an update till then.
I would probably go Lavisca in that situation. Tyler Boyd or Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson, is Odell playing? Not sure yet. Well, we won't know till after the game. So you have to have a backup in case he doesn't go, or start somebody going in these early games. Johnny Smith or Tyler Higbee. Personally, I would go Tyler Higbee. Galloway or Jarvis Landry. If this is PPR, I'm going Jarvis Landry. If it's standard, Galloway. We have Gaskins or Swift PPR. I would go Swift. Galladay or Landry. Once again, if it's PPR, I would go Landry. If it's standard, Galladay. I'm going to go Lavisca. They are playing home to. Yes, I would go Lavisca, Madison, Hyde, or McKissick. I would go Carlos Hyde. He should be involved in this offense. Okay, so back to YouTube. Ayuk or Callaway, as well as Gaskin or Harris. I would go Ayuk and Gaskin. Who would you go, Brad?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't know if it really changed. It probably really wouldn't change much. I was going to say, depending on what the league setting is, if it's like PPR or 0.5 or standard, I probably would keep the same answer. But yeah, I agree. Ayuk and Gaskin there.
So if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. And once again, we appreciate everybody being a part of the live stream. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate you guys. So any other questions, feel free. We're going to be live basically till 12:55 right before these games start. Let's go Cardinals. That game's going to be really good. I'm excited to see that game today for sure. The Cardinals and Titans game. I think that's going to be one of the best games of the slate. What is that game at? What time is that game? Is that at 1?
Yeah. What'd you say, the Cardinals game?
Yeah. It's at 1?
Yep, 1 o'clock.
When's the Cleveland plays at 4, right? That's
that over-under got bumped up to 54 too.
Is that 54 now? For what game? Yeah. The Cleveland game?
No, the Cardinals. I thought it was 53.5. Browns Chiefs is now 54.5. Man, that's a lot of points, but I do for that reason. That's like what we're talking about. Like Baker Mayfield, if it's over under, and that seems fitting because Vegas is smarter than all of us combined. Then Baker needs to put up fantasy points, right? I mean, I think I trust him in this matchup.
Well, and especially because what is the difference with what is the spread right now for that game?
4.5.
4.5. So yeah, I mean they're both going to score points. So Baker should have a solid day. Followed. Thank you. Appreciate you following. Will Tom Brady get injured? Tom Brady, I want to bet on it. That dude is a freak of nature. Thoughts on Tyson Williams, non-PPR? I like Tyson Williams this upcoming week, and I like him season long. This team is going to give Tyson Williams all the chances in the world to be the starting back for this team. So I like Tyson Williams. I'm stuck on starting Eckler or Gibson. It is really, me personally, I would go Gibson. It is really tough though. Like if Eckler is he just has a really tough matchup, and I would personally go Gibson, honestly. We did miss Megan's question. One more, have the Bills D in, but what about the Vikings D versus Cincinnati, for example? I would still go Bills D personally. I think that they're good for a pick or two on Big Ben, honestly. So I would go with the Bills defense. And the big question mark for Pittsburgh right now is their offensive line. The Bills weren't very good last year at getting pressure on the quarterback, but they've made some changes in the offseason. They could be better this upcoming season. So I would start the Bills defense. Yes. Swift or Javonte Williams. Personally, I would go Swift. Ryan, how about this one? Ryan Tannehill or Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, that one, I read that down in the comments. That's an interesting one. I feel like these two guys probably finished with very similar games, but I'm going to lean Tannehill because, I mean, that's like a dream matchup for him. They're going to show off their new toys, their new offensive toys. They're going to show it off. And I think Tannehill puts up big numbers, but I have a lot of trust in Baker this week too. So, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either.
I like Ryan Tannehill a lot. I love Ryan Tannehill. I'm definitely going Ryan Tannehill. Do you like Henry Ruggs over Jalen Reagor with Marcus Peters gone for the season? Yeah, I don't know. I think they're about the same, to be honest with you.
Over the season, I think I saw like they talked about it earlier, like in March and like April. I feel like I read about it with Henry Ruggs. Like last year, because of I think it was Tyrell Williams that was there. Henry Ruggs didn't run the normal like route tree and stuff that he's used to, like using his speed because Tyrell Williams was the outside guy taking that kind of route tree from him. So with Henry Ruggs there and now that available and Marcus Peters and obviously the injury last week, I think Henry Ruggs could be a sneaky play here. Like if you need someone in a desperate situation, if you're like the OBJ stuck, I don't think Henry Ruggs is going to be that bad of a start this week. And honestly, I like him long term. I think I traded for him in a couple of dynasty leagues or attempted to, because I honestly do think going forward, Henry Ruggs is a much better wide receiver and almost like a buy low candidate than what we saw last year because he just wasn't used right with Tyrell Williams there.
All right. No, go Gage. Go Gage if you want. I would go Juju. And not because of your background, LOL. Thank you so much, guys. Really love watching your live stream and how responsive you are. Appreciate you. Hey, we appreciate you being a part of the stream, Megan. Actually, I got to get back to some of these questions. I missed these ones. Can you rate my lineup half PPR? We got Murray, DK, Hopkins, Callaway, Chris Carson, Hunter Henry. There's only one running back. Well, no, there's two running backs, but there's more wide receivers. So I'm assuming you only probably have to start one wide receiver, one running back, and then flexes. I'm assuming that's how this league is. Devontae Harris, or not Devontae Harris, Damian Harris, Michael Pittman. I think that lineup's really solid. I mean, there's a question mark at tight end, but for what you have, I think that's a really good lineup. It's killing me to choose one of them. I would personally go, that was an Antonio Gibson one, right? I would go Antonio Gibson. Should I drop Will Fuller for Tyson Williams PPR? Oh, there's nobody else. Like Will Fuller is the last guy you need to drop. Let me know if there's nobody else. Oh boy, I would probably do it. Gaskin or Edmonds half PPR. I would go Gaskin. And Ryan, do you agree with those? I gotta get caught up on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean the ones. Let me see what we were going back to. I had thoughts. The Will Fuller, Tyson Williams. I think, yeah, definitely comment, see if there's any other options of who you can drop. I don't think you're able to, but Yeah, I'm almost positive you're not able to. But if for some reason there's a chance that you can put Will Fuller in the IR slot, even though he's not on the IR, he's just suspended. Take a look at that to see if it's eligible. I don't think it is, but maybe your league's slightly different to what I'm in. But any chance you have to get a starting caliber running back in a year like this, where running backs are going down often, I'd take the chance and get a starting running back. Will Fuller, he showed last year when he's healthy and can play with a quarterback that can sling it. I mean, he's a good wide receiver. I mean, he played very well. I think it was borderline probably wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 type numbers last year when he's healthy and playing. Obviously, the suspension kind of stings a little bit, but I'd hope for you, Benjamin, that you have some other options to drop. But if not, I would probably lean towards picking up Tyson Williams. Gaskin or Edmonds half PPR. I feel like Tyler's answered this one a couple of times. We're leaning Gaskin there, especially in a half PPR. My comment above relays my question to the Bills starting defense. With the Bills, Tyler, are you back? It was just a question about the Bills defense from Megan. But yeah, and I from what the options she had, I would lean Bills defense compared to what was it?
The other one would definitely be Minnesota. I think that Minnesota could be a sneaky play defensively today because they were missing a lot of their defensive linemen last year. The secondaries improved. So, and you know that this offensive line isn't quite there yet for Cincinnati. So they're a decent play, but Bills, I believe, what are they? Last I saw, they're like 7-point favorites. Did that go up or go down?
6.
At 6. So this should be a team that should win against Pittsburgh. And Big Ben's really good for a pick or two on the road usually. So Jalen Hurts or Rodgers. Personally, I would go Rodgers. I do love Hurts this upcoming week. Gaskin or Edmonds. I think I got that when I said Edmonds. Will Fuller is my worst other than Chubba Hubba, but I would definitely cut Chubba Hubba. Listen, Chuba.
Is that a nickname for him? Chubba Hubba.
I definitely wouldn't go okay, here's the thing is that Hubbard is not going to have anywhere near the production that CMC is going to have. I get that it's an insurance, but the replacement level for Hubbard to CMC is nowhere near. I would definitely drop Hubbard and just go with Tyson Williams, because unfortunately, if CMC gets hurt, you're going to be screwed. Honestly, it's going to take a lot for you to have a really good season when your first round draft pick goes down. You're going to have to really manage your team extremely well, flawlessly. So I would go Tyson Williams. I have a man crush on Lamar Jackson. Oh man, optimize. Come on, man. He's not eligible. Who's he saying not eligible? I'm not sure.
When I was explaining the Will Fuller thing, I was saying if he's eligible for IR, if it was something funky, where he could be put in an IR spot.
Who are the best insurance running backs? You don't want insurance running backs. Okay, here's the thing with running backs. This is how I look at it. I mean, you can look at it differently. New England or Colts defense, New England's defense. Here's how I look at insurance for running backs, okay? A floor play is having a backup running back. There's only a few backup running backs that I would really want. Tony Pollard would be one. Alexander Madison a little bit, but I think Tony Pollard can get near Zeke level replacement, but really that's one of the very few guys that you want. Most of them are going to be a timeshare. I mean, who last year thought that Mike Davis was going to be, Mike Davis? I just think that I would rather have somebody else's backup, because I don't want to expect one of my guys to go down. And once again, if they go down, you're going to be playing a replacement level guy that's not going to be anywhere near the talent that you drafted. So I'd rather have a Tony Pollard or somebody like that, or just have other guys on my bench. I don't really want insurance running backs on my roster. Should I trade Ezekiel for Eckler and PPR? No, I would keep Zeke. If you're getting Zeke, then yeah, I would keep Zeke though. And then the last one we have, who should I start this week? Elijah Moore or Melvin Gordon? I would go Melvin Gordon in this circumstance, but Elijah Moore, I like him a lot this upcoming week, but I would like to see him produce for a week. How do you feel, Ryan?
I would have gone Elijah Moore.
Who would you go?
Honestly, I would have gone Elijah Moore in that situation.
Oh, Elijah Moore, huh?
Dude, I'm really
go ahead and talk about the Jets real quick.
On the Jets. The thing about the Jets is for the last couple of years, there's just this stigma around the Jets of being bad, which they have been a bad franchise for a few years now. Before 10 years ago, they were consistently in the playoffs. The last few years, they fell into a funk where it just seems they have nothing right. Gase is gone. They kind of reset everything in this organization to obviously the coordinator's the coach. And I think Zach Wilson is the start of something new. and exciting for this offense. They have playmakers now. The one concern, like the one question mark is like the backfield, but I think Michael Carter is actually a solid player that'll end up being a quality running back. And then I think Corey Davis and Elijah Moore are good options for Zach Wilson to kind of start his NFL career on a good foot. They don't have a tough matchup today. So honestly, I think they get a win today. And I think tomorrow, one of the headlines is the connection between these two, because I bet Elijah Moore ends up with a touchdown. And I think he has a solid game, probably makes a play that's like Sports Center top 10, like pass from Zach Wilson. I don't know. I'm getting pretty deep here, but that connection is something that's going to excite me. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people think that Zach Wilson's almost being slept on as far as these rookie quarterbacks. Because like, obviously Lawrence had his time as far as everyone talking about him, like generational talent. We talk a lot about like the Mac Jones, the Justin Fields. I think that part of the fantasy has like been so much of the talk of like, when are these guys going to take over, that Zach Wilson is getting slept on and like forgotten about. And I think that also probably has to do too with it being the Jets. Like I said, I mean, they've just kind of fallen into below mediocrity. And I think this is going to be one of those days where I think they come back to relevancy a little bit. Not that they're going to compete in that division, because I don't see that being feasible, but at least making a little bit of noise where they get an upset win here and there. I think it's going to be a good game. It makes for a story game about the Jets and the Panthers with Darnold playing against them. It should be an exciting one to watch. CMC coming back for the first time in quite a while. But yeah, I mean, as bad as that matchup seems on paper, two low quality teams playing against each other, I think it would, if that was the only game on my TV and I had to watch it, I wouldn't be upset. Is basically what it comes down to, because I do think there's a lot of storylines in that one that are going to make it quite interesting. And it should be exciting. Maybe some fireworks, some nice plays. CMC is always, obviously, he's like a cheat code on the field. He can do a little bit of everything. And then on the other side, you got some young guys that are that can make some plays too. So honestly, I like that one. I like that game. I'm going to keep saying it. So if the Jets are completely horrible today and get shut out, like, I don't know, maybe I won't be on the show next week. Maybe Tyler will fire me or something, but I'm just going to keep rolling with it. I'm going to live by the Jets this week. And I think they surprise people. Tyler's still talking. So
no, I'll go. I'm good, Ryan. Robert Woods, Devontae Smith or Robert Woods. Go Robert Woods. Bobby Trees, baby. DJ Chark, Mooney or OBJ is my wide receiver too. I would personally go, at this point, I would go DJ Chark. We're not sure if OBJ is going to play today, and I really don't want to take that risk. I would go DJ Chark. Tevin Coleman is starting. He is starting. I think he's just going to kind of get that starting nod. I don't expect a whole lot of things from Tevin Coleman this upcoming season. We got Ayuk or Terry McLaurin. Ayuk, Fitzpatrick or Ryan as QB2. I would go Matt Ryan, Devontae Smith, Chase Edmonds, or Marquez Callaway. Chase Edmonds for me. Who are you going, Ryan? Devontae Smith or Chase Edmonds?
That's fair.
Chase Edmonds.
I mean, with these guys, I want to see Devontae Smith in connection with Jalen Hurts before I can put him in front of a guy like Chase Edmonds.
Saints defense versus Green Bay or Colts defense. I would go Saints defense. I really wouldn't want any of them, but Saints defense, at least. Colts, I think they're going to get eaten up by Seattle. Saquon or Davis/Gaskin. I would still go Saquon. Hurts or Herbert. I would go Hurts. Tyler Boyd or Corey Davis. I would go Corey Davis. When it comes to insurance backs, you got to get a guy would have some value in the offense. Anyways, I grabbed Nyheim Hines in the league. I have Jonathan Taylor, yes. And if Jonathan Taylor goes down, like Nyheim Hines isn't going to be like the main guy, but he would still have a little bit more value. But that's solid. Like with the guys like backup running backs, you have to just have the right one. And still, the right one is still going to be a replacement level, except a handful of guys that are going to still really produce well if the starting back goes down. Melvin Gordon, Elijah Moore, Mike Williams, pick two. For me, Elijah Moore and Melvin Gordon. Would you agree with that?
Definitely Elijah Moore. I just, maybe I've become a Melvin Gordon hater for whatever reason. So I might lean Mike Williams, even though I don't love the second option. I do like Elijah Moore. I just keep saying that, but I'd probably lean that one. Gordon's not going to be bad. You just got to hope that he falls in the end zone, basically, because I don't think he puts up the production to be a starting guy in a fantasy lineup without falling in the end zone, because I don't think he gets the yards for it. We have
a lot of questions about Mostert today. Listen, guys, I'm going to say this right now. Mostert is a top 12 play this upcoming week. Mostert is a must start. You got to start Mostert this upcoming week. Start him. There's not many running backs that I would start wide receivers over Mostert this week. You got to start Mostert. Full point PPR, 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, and flex. Allen Robinson, Ayuk, Devontae Smith, Mostert. So number 1, Mostert. I would go 1 wide receiver. I would go Brandon Ayuk, and then flex Allen Robinson. It is close between him and Deontay Johnson, though. But personally, it's really hard to sit Allen Robinson. Any update on Trey Sermon? Would it be a good idea? So he was a healthy scratch, but I would maybe consider picking up Hasty at this point. It's not ideal that he was a healthy scratch already for week 1. That's not good. Should I start Saquon? It depends on your other options. There's a lot of questions coming over on TikTok right now. If you don't follow us over at YouTube, Aspire Sports Show, make sure you go and follow us at YouTube, Aspire Sports Show. Cooper Kupp or Brandon Ayuk? Who are you going, Ryan? I would go Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. I want shares of that.
Allen Robinson or Jerry Judy? A-Rob, love Jerry Judy today, but still A-Rob. Juju or Corey Davis? Corey Davis for me. And what are your thoughts and feelings about Ronald Jones and his performance usage? Oh, gosh. I made a terrible decision, guys. That was my worst call of week 1. I'm really sorry. I told people to play Ronald Jones, and he was an absolute bust play. It looked like even prior to the fumble, like they're splitting, and especially once they got down to the 50-yard line, like across the 50, it looks like Leonard Fournette was going in. But this is a perfect time when, next week, Ronald Jones is going to go out and have 300 rushing yards. Like, this is just what happens. This is what was happening last year with this backfield. It was so frustrating. I think Ronald Jones is the better talent than Leonard Fournette personally. But right now, you can't play him at all. Do not play him. He's in the doghouse. Where do you rank Gibson and JT in your rankings? Jonathan Taylor this week for me is the top 5 guy. Top 5 guy. Gibson, I think I have him as like RB 13, I believe. I like Gibson, but yeah. Ryan, how about you? Where's JT? Where would you say JT is? Gaskin or Marquez? Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I mean, I think that we've talked about it. I've mentioned it a couple of times. I think that has shootout potential between the Colts and the Seahawks. So as you keep, whenever you think a shootout's possible, or I mean, the over/under is right around. Like I said, it was at 48.5 when I looked at it earlier. You anticipate points being scored, so you obviously the guy on that team, as far as punching it in, is going to be Jonathan Taylor. Gibson, the matchup's a little bit more difficult. I do love that offense and the potential of that offense this year. I don't think Gibson has a bad game, but if you're choosing between 2 RB1s, so you look at the matchup, when you're deciding between the two, Jonathan Taylor's a really good talent. I would lean like Ty. I would lean JT. Not that I don't like Antonio Gibson this week. It's just you have 2 very good options in a full PPR. I mean, can't go wrong with either of them. It might just be the difference if one of them has touchdown, one has none, or one has 2 and one has 1. Because both of them. I mean, you should be good. What are your options? Like, are you deciding between those 2, or are you just looking for a ranking type? Because like Ty, I would have Jonathan Taylor in my top 5. I don't know if I would fall Gibson as low as 13 in a full PPR. I would guess probably around like 9 or 10. I don't have specific rankings for this week like Ty does. But I would probably go around like 5 and 9 if I was actually doing a rankings between the 2 of them for this week. Just, I don't know. There's a lot of with Curtis Samuel, it's a little different, but honestly, Terry McLaurin is like my guy this year. Like, I had so much Terry McLaurin that, like, if things go south, then I'm going to be in some rough shape, or if he gets hurt. I did a video earlier in the summer about Terry McLaurin, most receiving yards in the NFL was plus 1,900 to bet on. That's one of my favorite value bets, because if Fitzpatrick plays the way, like, just slings it, Terry McLaurin had a very, very good season last year as a young guy, plus playing with quarterbacks that, like, aren't even, like, I don't even know if most of them are backups at this point. Like, he was playing with quarterbacks that are 3rd-string quarterbacks and still put up monster numbers. He now has Fitzpatrick. That I'm not saying that Fitzpatrick is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he's much better than what Terry McLaurin was working with last year. And if you have the opportunity, like if a guy's like loaded at wide receiver and like Terry McLaurin's like starting in his flex or something, I would go get him. Like, it might be too late now, because I think he's going to play well, and people are going to see that Terry McLaurin is legit in this offense, because I think this team beats the Chargers today. Not that it's that surprising. The point spread's 1 or even like a pick 'em. But I like Washington. Their defense is completely underrated. I think Washington's actually going to be a good football team. We saw in the playoffs last year, like the Redskins barely made it in. People were talking crap on the NFC East because the records were poor, but the Redskins competed with the Buccaneers last year. Like, it was a solid game from start to finish. I think they went up on them early and then came back a little bit, but they lost by maybe 10 points. But for a team that ended up winning the Super Bowl with
So did the Giants.
Tom Brady, I mean, like, I just think they have some potential there. What'd you say, Kyle?
I said the Giants put up a good fight too. It must just be that whole division's going to be tough for the Bucs.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like Terry McLaurin a lot.
Guys, there's like nearly 200 people over on TikTok right now. This is crazy. The questions are just going so fast. I can't even answer, every question. Yeah. So thoughts on Philip Brinsley, start or sit? It depends on your other options. Tyler Lockett. Yeah, guys, come to YouTube /Aspire Sports. I'm going to answer your questions over on TikTok. I got to get to these questions on YouTube, though. So we have DeAndre Swift or Damian Harris. Personally, I would go this PPR. I would go DeAndre Swift, Tyler Lockett or Miles Sanders. Go Tyler Lockett for standard. He's going to have a solid week. Thoughts on Philip Lindsay, start or sit? It depends on who your other options are. David Montgomery or Laviska Shenault. Personally, I would go David Montgomery. In this one, I do like Laviska. Ryan, who do you think? And real quick, who do you think? Or did you two both eat today on game day? I haven't eaten yet. I haven't eaten.
I ate some coffee.
Coffee. Did you say coffee?
Yeah,
dude.
Coffee.
Jinx, you owe me a soda. Yeah, I got him, bro. Juju or Devontae Smith, or Marvin Jones. I do think I have Marvin Jones. This one's really tough because I don't have my rankings pulled up. I'm currently signed out on this, but I think Marvin Jones is the highest ranking. But it's really close between him and Devontae Smith. I love both of these guys. But I think I have Marvin Jones ranked higher, but really, I don't think you can go wrong. Eckler or Harris. If this is Najee Harris. If it's Damian Harris, Eckler. Go ahead, Ryan. Answer some of these questions real quick, and I'll get over to TikTok real fast.
Just going through some of the questions here. I think you said he was going to TikTok. Yeah. The Eckler or Harris question. Is that PPR or is it actually? I don't know if it matters. If it's PPR or not. Najee Harris, I would go over Eckler unless it's like full point PPR. I think maybe that's the only chance where I'd consider something different. Lindsey, McKissick, Edmonds. I'm going Edmonds. I think Ty's probably the same one if it's Chase Edmonds. Allen Robinson or Corey Davis. Allen Robinson. For the Bears, Sutton or Galladay. That one's tough. I don't like the Giants whatsoever or this offense one bit. I would lean Sutton there. Best defense out of Green Bay, Giants, Buffalo. If this is straight up defense, I think this is a different question. But if we're talking fantasy, I think we're leaning Buffalo out of those three because the Giants I'm definitely not trusting. In Green Bay, that matchup, don't love Jameis, but as a fantasy quarterback, he should be able to sling the ball around. Laviska or Deontay Johnson. Like Laviska, but that answer is going to be Deontay Johnson. For the volume, he should get best defense. Same question. What's up, guys? Hope you guys doing well. Would you guys go for Robert Woods or Tyler Lockett? That's a tough one. You can re-ask that one in Tyler once if you want his answer, but Tyler Lockett is primed for a really, really big day today. But I also love Robert Woods. I'm going to lean Lockett, but I'm going to say that one's close. Swift, Sutton, Devontae Smith, flex, PPR. Probably go DeAndre Swift. The other two, they're not bad. And personally, I'm an Eagles fan, but I just want to see Devontae Smith with the connection that he has with Jalen Hurts. Obviously, before I would put him in front of a guy like DeAndre Swift. Hit the thumbs up, everyone. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe to the videos. We do this every week. We do this pretty much today. Kyle confirmed, but are we doing a live show again before the Sunday night game? Let me know. Yeah, probably. We'll be live again tonight, and then we'll be live tomorrow before the Monday night game. And we're live before the Thursday game as well to get you guys set up for the entire week.
Yeah, I keep telling people.
So hit the thumbs up, like everyone.
So, I mean, Kyle, I'll answer some questions over here with Ryan. If you guys are over on TikTok, over on YouTube /Aspire Sports Show, come on over. It's not as busy. Come on over here. So real quick, let's answer some of these questions. Did you get these ones? Sony Michel or Coleman?
I ran through a lot of them, but I said they can re-ask if you want to hear their answer because I ran through a lot of those questions.
Okay. Well, no, if you answer them, Sony Michel, Tevin Coleman. Personally, I would go. I would go Sony Michel, T Higgins or Ayuk. Personally, I would go Ayuk. Ryan feels the same way, right? Right.
Yeah.
Ayuk.
Just start answering. There's so many coming in and out. Just start going.
Okay, I'll just start going. All right, you want me to start going? So we have Elijah Moore at Cooks. Personally, I would go Brandon Cooks. I love Moore. I love Moore too. I love Moore. If you want to go more, go more. Like I always tell people, go with your gut. DJ Chark or Damian Harris. Personally, I would go with Damian Harris. Stafford or Cousins, or Lawrence. I technically have Stafford ranked the highest. So Stafford, Najee Harris, or Gibson. Najee or Packers winning today. I think it's going to be really close, honestly. I think Packers will win today. Swift or Javonte Swift or Devontae Swift. Javonte Williams or Swift. I would go with Swift. Wide receiver 2, Devontae Smith or Ayuk. And we're live over at YouTube.com/Aspire Sports Show. If you're on TikTok, want your your questions answered. Jeez, I flipped that. Over at YouTube, go over to YouTube. Swift or Javonte Williams. So Swift, Devontae Smith. I would personally go Ayuk. I love Devontae Smith this upcoming week, though. Shenault or Swift for PPR. I would go Swift. DJ Chark or Damian Harris. Personally, I would go Damian Harris. Claypool or Mike Davis. That one's tough. If this is standard, I think I would probably go Mike Davis either way, though. Honestly, at this point, now that Wayne Gallman's out for this game, Mike Davis is really going to have this backfield to himself. So personally, I would go Mike Davis at this point. Brandon Cooks, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CH. There's a lot of questions. Jeez. Najee Harris, Ayuk or Najee Harris? Najee Harris. Cooks, Everett or Cook? I would go Jared Cook. Ayuk or Harris? Ayuk or Harris? I would personally go, yes. If you want your question answered ASAP, we also have Super Chat. Super Chat is the way to go, baby. But if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Ayuk or Damian Harris, Swift or Henderson or Anderson. I would go Swift. Thielen or Julio? Julio. Are the Colts defense good? I mean, I don't think this week I want to. I think that they're good, but that's a really tough matchup against Seattle. I think Seattle's going to win this game, and yeah, I have 5K on the Packers. 5K. Well, you better hope that hits. Ayuk or Najee Harris, Laviscus or Deante, Corey Davis or OBJ, Corey Davis, Logan Thomas or Higbee. No, Logan Thomas. I have Logan Thomas ranked higher. Shenault or Swift. Ayuk or Najee Harris. Najee Harris or Gibson. Najee Harris. Tyson Williams or CEH. CEH. Ayuk or Najee Harris? Najee Harris. Tyler Lockett or Robert Woods? Robert Woods. Ayuk or Najee Harris? This guy keeps asking the same one. He really wants this question answered. Najee Harris. Laviscus or Deante. Are the Colts defense good? They're all right. Juju or Hunt? Damian Harris, Miles Sanders, personally. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate you guys. Also over on TikTok, Aspire Sports Show, YouTube. If you want your questions answering all those questions right now on YouTube. It's not as busy. TikTok is absolutely crazy right now. I mean, YouTube is getting pretty crazy too, but we're answering these questions. We're flying through these questions. Ryan, go ahead. Answer some questions on YouTube real quick.
I don't know how far I am behind because they just keep coming through quick. So I remember you saying Ayuk or Najee Harris like 5 times, so I'll just go from there. Colts defense is all right. Like Juju or Hunt. Oh, Shenault or Swift for flex and PPR. All right. We're going Swift in that one. PPR for the flex. Juju or Hunt. I'm gonna go Kareem Hunt. I think that game is gonna get pretty high scoring. So you want some options. You want some people involved in that one. The Packers are winning. I agree. I have money on the Packers to cover as well. Damian Harris or Miles Sanders. I'm gonna go Miles Sanders. I am an Eagles fan, but I like Miles Sanders today. Out of the backfield, Lavisca, Deante, or Davis. We're gonna go Deante there. Henderson, Carson, Davis. Which 2 do I start? If you're talking about Daryl Henderson, Chris Carson, and Mike Davis, I'm gonna go Henderson and Carson. Let me know if it's something different. But that's who I'm rolling with out of those. Robert Woods or Lockett, you asked again. I'm sorry because Tyler's off again, so I asked that one in a little bit if you want a different answer, but I'm leaning Lockett on that one. Ayuk or Allen Robinson. I'm rolling with Allen Robinson there. Flex, EH, CEH, Damien. That one's going to be CEH for me in the flex. Juju or Cobb in the flex. Definitely Juju. Cobb is a complete question mark at this point. I don't want to start him until I see what's going on there. Damian Harris or Gaskin. I think we're both leaning. Tyler and I would both say we're leaning Gaskin on that one, but feel free to ask again when Tyler takes over. There's so many questions coming in. He's over on TikTok right now. Lavisca, Deante, or Mike Davis. Tyler and I would probably both. Okay. Lavisca, Deante, or Mike Davis. We're leaning Deante on that one. I think we both agree. The Ayuk Allen Robinson question again. Allen Robinson, should I start CEH or CMC? Just CMC by just a little bit on that one. Shenault or Callaway PPR. That one's pretty close. I will lean Shenault just on the off chance that Callaway gets shadowed. But that one's close. Feel free to ask the one again. Packers are going to crush it. I agree with you. I think in that game it plays a role that they had to switch the site away from New Orleans. Josh Allen or Lamar. That's a good one. I'm going to go Lamar with the rushing ability. Pick 3, full PPR. A-Rob, Ayuk, Lockett. So basically sit one. Those are some good options, but I'm going to sit Ayuk out of them for the pick 3. Russell Gage or Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks. I know Tyler's big on Brandon Cooks today as well. Damien Harris or Gaskin. Tyler, you back?
No.
No? All right. That's fine. Damien Harris or Gaskin. Gaskin, CEH, Damien Harris. We're going CEH. Russell Gage, Brandon Cooks, Juju, Allen Robinson, Chase or Beckham, half PPR. Listen, this is going to be one of those tough ones. We're not going to have an update on Odell Beckham until an hour and a half before game time at 4 o'clock. So you need to make that decision now for the 1 o'clock. And just based off not being sure, I don't honestly think even if Beckham plays, he's 100%. So they're not going to get him the ball or make him a priority in that offense. So I'm going Chase in that one. Swift and AB for Mixon, question mark. Send that one again in a little bit. That's a tough one. Chark or Mostert and flex? Definitely Mostert. Swift or same question. Swift and AB. Darnell Mooney or Sutton, wide receiver 2. That's a tough one. I'm going to go Sutton. Chark or Mostert? Mostert. Cooks, Higgins, or Davis? Higgins. LaVisca, we answered that one. Deante. Mostert. Marvin or Ruggs? Marvin, although I said it earlier, I don't know if you were on, I do like Ruggs' outlook for the season. I think they were using him wrong last year. He has the opportunity to get back to a spot. Don't be surprised if Ruggs goes off, but for now, until I see it, I'm going to go Marvin. Mostert, Damian Harris or Gaskin? Mostert. Go Birds. Love it, Megan. Go Birds. Chark or Mostert? Mostert. Galladay or Juju? That's a good one. I've been saying it, so I'm going to stick with it. This Giants offense makes me incredibly nervous until I actually see it. The offensive line is just it's bad. And until I see Saquon actually moving and expanding that offense, Galladay also has had the injury concerns, so I'm going Juju in that one, just playing it safe. Pick 3, full PPR. I already answered that one. Kyler Murray or Josh Allen. Just based on that game being a very high over-under, and I think they're going to need to score, I'm going to go Kyler Murray in that one because I think that has shootout potential, and you always want the quarterback in a shootout. CEH, Chase, Mostert, Cooks, Sutton, Shenault or Callaway. It's another. I think I answered this one. That one's tough, but I'm going to lean Shenault even though they're close. Mostert, Higgins, Chase, Cooks, Ayuk, Tyson, Myles Gaskin. Ooh, that's a tough one. Hey, FM, why don't you let me know if it's PPR or half PPR or standard? Let me know because that might change the answer. Full point PPR, Chase, Callaway, Mooney, Cobb. I'm going to go. That's tough. Oh, start 2 as well. I'll go Callaway and Chase. Callaway and Chase. Mostert. CMC still. Wilson or Hurts? That's a good one, but we're going to go Wilson. Those are 2 good options. You have 2 good options there. Go Wilson. Jared Cook or Noah Fant? I'm going to go Noah Fant. I think Noah Fant's very underrated at this point because he wasn't playing much last year. So I'm going to go Noah Fant over Jared Cook in that one. Gaskin, Davis, Ayuk, or Tyson Williams? I think we answered this one. Corey Davis, Josh Jacobs, or Robbie Anderson, PPR and flex. I'm going to go Corey Davis. I've been talking about the Jets a bit on the show. I think that they get the stigma as the bad team, but honestly, I think they could be exciting this year with a couple decent fantasy options on that offense. DJ Moore or Deante Johnson, Mike Davis. DJ Moore for PPR. Deante Johnson's close, but I think Tyler and I would both lean DJ Moore there or Deante Johnson, and then PPR Gaskin. Yeah, that one's close too. FM for the PPR. I'm going to go Tyson Williams for the PPR there. Tyson Williams, it's going to be his this week. It makes me nervous a little bit after that, but for at least this week, I give the edge to Tyson Williams. Allen Robinson or Chris Carson, Mostert or Joe Mixon. That's a close one because I think Mixon has the ability, but Mostert's a smash play now that Trey Sermon is out. What'd you say?
45. Corey Davis or Swift? Swift. I can answer some. If you aren't already over on Aspire Sports YouTube channel, come over to Aspire Sports. If you're on TikTok, it's not as busy. I can answer your questions over here on the YouTube. We are live. Where did you leave off, Rye?
I'm right at the bottom. Mostert or Joe Mixon.
Who'd you say? Oh, good, Joe Mixon.
I didn't answer it. I was leaning Mostert, but
Mostert. So he's like a top 12 play for you then.
Yeah.
I like Joe Mixon, but Mostert's a beautiful play. Julio or A-Rob, I would go Julio. Julio has a dream matchup this week. Allen Robinson has a tough matchup. Juju, Jarvis Landry, Tyson Williams, or Sterling Shepard at flex. Personally, so is this PPR? If it's standard, I'm going Tyson Williams. I'm going to go Tyson Williams regardless. I think Tyson Williams in for a solid week. Allen Robinson or Chris Carson for me. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you like the video, subscribe, follow over on TikTok. If you're over on TikTok, come over to Aspire Sports Show on YouTube where it's not as busy. We can answer your questions. I'll answer your questions for you. Mixon or Mostert. Me personally, I would go Mixon. Ryan says Mostert. I think that they're both fine plays. Eckler or Carson this upcoming week. Personally, I would go Eckler. It's really close between these guys as well. If it's PPR, I would go Eckler. If it's standard, Carson. Pittman, Ayuk, Higgins, Jacobs start 2. Personally, I would go Ayuk and Higgins. Swift and AB for Mixon. So this is a trade. Would I do that trade? I would personally I would keep Swift and AB, honestly. Me personally, I would keep Swift and AB. How do you feel, Rye?
No, I agree. I had that question came up, and I wasn't sure exactly how to answer it. And I said to ask it again a little bit because that was really difficult. That's a tough one. I think I know you're not as high on him as I am, but I think AB has huge potential in that offense, and we've only seen just like the beginning of it.
And then Damian Harris or Chris Carson, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, or Mike Davis. I would go DJ Moore. Ayuk or Debo, Ayuk, Laviska or Swift at flex and PPR. Swift over Laviska, Swift. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button on the YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to the channel, because if you ain't subscribed to Aspire Sports, then where the hell you at, right? James Robinson, Corey Davis, Sammy Watkins, Tyrell Williams, Jarvis Landry, pick 2, James Robinson, definitely, and I would go Corey Davis. Swift or Laviska? Swifty. Let's get Swifty. And over on TikTok, we're live over at YouTube. Search Aspire Sports in the YouTube search button. We'll come up. You can follow us over there. Saquon or Mike Davis? I would go Mike Davis. For my flex, Evans or Edmonds? I would go Edmonds. Evans. Didn't he already play? Davis over OBJ, Mike Davis or T. Higgins. Do you know any websites that I can watch free games? What is the website? I don't want to say it, actually. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if we're allowed to say that kind of stuff. Matthew Stafford over Herbert. Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen. We had Jerry Judy or Pittman. I would go Jerry Judy. On YouTube, we have Tyson Williams or Tyler Boyd. Personally, I would go Tyson Williams. Mike Davis. Oh, we have some more questions coming in from YouTube as well. Hit that like button if you will, and subscribe. Follow over on TikTok if you appreciate it. Mixon or Swift? I would go Mixon. So we have Debo, Juju, Kareem Hunt. Personally, I would go Kareem Hunt. Mike Davis, Tyler Boyd, A-Rob. I would go A-Rob. It's really hard to sit A-Rob. I know it's a bad weekend, but I would still go A-Rob. Thanks, guys. Keep killing it. Hey, appreciate you guys. Deontay Johnson, Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver 2. Thanks, guys. I subscribe. Thank you. I would go Brandon Ayuk. It is close between these two. I like them both. So if you like Deontay Johnson, go for it. He's a fine play this upcoming week. DJ Moore is Swift. I would go DJ Moore. For my flex, should I go Gaskin or Brandon Cooks? Me personally, I would go Gaskin. And we're caught up on YouTube. So if you're over on TikTok, come over to YouTube, youtube.com/Aspire Sports Show. We're live. We'll answer your questions. I'll also answer your questions now on TikTok because Ryan, the best co-host, is going to take over on YouTube. Appreciate you, brother. All right.
Yeah, keep asking some questions if you have them. Sorry for the change of scenery, guys. I'm like standing over top of my iPad. I was about to die, and I didn't want to die on you guys while I was taking the load off Tyler for YouTube here. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to send them over. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. Last second, Chark or OBJ? Mooney, Chark. Last second, Chark or OBJ? Mooney, Chark plays 1, so I need to decide now. Listen, I'm off of OBJ. So it's Mooney or Gaskin for me. Oh, jeez. I guess I lean Chark there. I do like Mooney. Until the Justin Fields takes over, I just don't really have much confidence in that Andy Dalton can get anything done. So with that offense and spread the ball around. So I'm going to lean Chark there just because I trust Trevor Lawrence and they have a little bit better of a matchup. For my flex, should I go Gaskin or Brandon Cook? Is it PPR? Psycho Swifty? Let me know. Megan from Delco, how does this sound? Stafford, Eckler, Chubb, A-Rob, Godwin. You got a good game out of him already. Yeah. That's a very good, and you can't go wrong with that. That's a very good lineup. You did well. Joe Burrow or Carr? I'm going Joe Burrow. That offense, they have a good matchup. And I like the Joe Burrow T. Higgins connection today. OBJ, Jerry Judy, or DJ Chark. Jerry Judy, because OBJ, listen, I'm not playing OBJ. I'm not trusting him enough with the 1 o'clock games, with the slate of teams that are playing at 1 to leave him in my lineup and then have to scramble for something later today. It's just not worth it. So I'm putting, if I have good options like Jerry Judy as a backup option, then I'm definitely playing Jerry Judy over OBJ. Thanks, y'all. Let's have a great season. Love to hear it. We'll chat again, maybe tonight, maybe next week. Swift, yes, it's PPR. So let me go back to your question. I'm going to go Gaskin. I don't think that changed my answer, but yeah, I'm going to go Gaskin. Richard. So maybe that's Tevin Coleman's name, or Sony Michelle. That's tough. I think Coleman's at least saying that he's getting the start today. So I'd lead Tevin Coleman if that's what you're talking about. Carson Harris or Tyson Williams. Chris Carson. Full PPR, Tevin Coleman, Kenyon Drake, or James Conner. Woo. Each. I'll lean. I don't love it, but I'll lean Kenyon Drake because I think they're gonna have to pass it. Chubb or Mixon. That's a tough one. Both have pretty good matchups. I've been saying I think the Browns game could turn into a shootout. When that happens, I want a running back on the team, so I'm gonna go Chubb, Russ, or Jalen Hurts. Russ Wilson, Pittman, Jerry J, Corey Davis, PPR. I'm gonna go Jerry Judy. Corey Davis is close, but I'm gonna go Jerry Judy. Sonny Michelle, Kareem Hunt, Hurts or Lamar, Juju or Mike Davis. I'm gonna go Mike Davis. Callaway or Chark? Callaway. Is Odell playing? Parker, we won't know if Odell is playing until Kevin Stefanski said he's not putting it out there until an hour and a half before the game like he has to. So I don't trust that he's playing, and even if he is, I don't think he's a full go. So I'm staying away from Odell today, and if you have other options that you want to start over and let us know, we'll try answering it for you. We only have 8 minutes here, so get them in quick, guys. Devontae Smith or Juju? I'm going to go Devontae Smith in a PPR. Devontae Johnson or Juju? Definitely Deante Johnson. Hurts, I'm guessing Hurts, Lamar. I've answered that one. Lamar, Callaway or Chark? We're going Callaway. Start at 3, bench 1. Jacoby Myers, Melvin Gordon, Jalen Waddle, Claypool. Personally, Tyler would say something different. Tyler would have Melvin Gordon in there, and I don't mind that. I think the decision here is between Jalen Waddle and Melvin Gordon until I've actually seen Jalen Waddle, because I don't really trust Tua that much. So actually, I'm going to lean Jalen Waddle out. Don't hate me if Jalen Waddle ends up doing something. With rookies, I prefer seeing them. No, I talked myself out of it. I'm going Waddle and I'm sitting Gordon, but Tyler would probably say the opposite. Sit Jalen Waddle, start Melvin Gordon. Daryl Henderson or Sonny Michelle? Definitely Daryl Henderson. Kenny Golladay or Michael Pittman? I'm going Michael Pittman. Kenny Golladay, the Giants' offense is just very scary until you see it in action. And I don't know if I can trust any of them right now other than Saquon, just because you know he's going to get the workload. Do we start leading into the next question? Do we start Saquon? Yes, you start Saquon unless you have very good second options. Cup, Gaskin, LaVisca, pick one. Cup. I am starting Cup. That offense, I think, is going to be very, very good and very high-powered, where the wide receivers could both end up being top 15 guys with Cup and Woods. I like them both. Jamar Chase or Myers? Myers. OBJ, Sutton, or Callaway? I am going Sutton in this one. OBJ, like the guys, keep saying OBJ. I'm not trusting anything about that. I don't think that he even ends up playing. And if he is, I think he's more of a decoy to be out there. So I'm not trusting for fantasy purposes. Corey Davis, T. Higgins, or Robert Woods. That's a tough one. It's between T. Higgins and Robert Woods. I think both can have really good games. I'm going to lean T. Higgins, even though I do like Robert Woods and Corey Davis a lot as well. You got some solid options there, so I'm going to lean T. Higgins, though. Harris or Montgomery, RB2. I'm gonna go Montgomery here. It's PPR. I think they're going to be passing it because they're going to be down, and I think Montgomery ends up catching some passes, so I like Montgomery there. Ayuk or Debo? Ayuk. This one's always weird. These are like the same players, but they're rarely on the field together because one of them's usually hurt. So honestly, out of these two, I'm going to lean Ayuk and just hope that they both stay healthy. Sutton or Chark? I'm going to go Sutton. You guys are boss. Good luck in everyone's fantasy leagues, unless you're in mine. I like it, Bruce. I appreciate you. Yes, to everyone that's listening, good luck today. We still have 5 minutes left, so we're still trying to answer some questions here, but good luck to everybody. Hope that we help you guys out today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We do this every single week. We do it before the primetime games as well. So we did one Thursday. We'll do one tonight before the Sunday night game, and tomorrow before the Monday night game as well. If you guys have any other questions or just want to chat about football, about the day, I know this is an exciting time for everyone that plays fantasy football, so definitely tune in. Singletary or OBJ? Singletary. I'm not trusting OBJ. Is Mostert a must start at flex? Yes, unless you have some very, very good other options at flex, he's definitely a must start. Mike Davis or Robbie Anderson? This is a tough one, but I'm going to go Mike Davis. Raheem, Adam Thielen, Clyde. Oh gosh, Poncho, that's a tough decision. You have some very, very, very good options, and I'd like to know what else you got going on and how many people in your league that you have that option for flex. I'll lean Raheem, but Adam Thielen. If you can't go wrong with either of those two guys. Russell Gage or Brandon Cooks? Brandon Cooks. Jacoby Myers, Jacoby Myers, Judy or Chase Edmonds at flex. That's a tough one, but I'm gonna go Chase Edmonds. Robbie Anderson or Gaskin. Odell or Marvin Jones? Marvin Jones, not trusting Odell, guys. Deante Johnson or Debo? Deante Johnson, guys. Odell, I'm telling you, even if he does play and we figure that out an hour before game time, you have to make these decisions now. And even if he's out there, I don't see him being 100% playing all the snaps, having like the route tree that he's normal. I don't see that happening. So even if he does play and I end up telling you guys someone now and they end up doing well, it's not worth the option that you will have to choose from at 4:00 if he doesn't end up having to play, unless you have some good other options then just take someone out of your lineup and then decide between those two later. Saquon or Hollywood? Saquon. Good looking out. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to come back. Like I said, we do this before every Sunday. Like, subscribe so you get notifications to let you know that when we're live. Will Sutton get shadowed by Bradbury? That I didn't look at. I don't think so. But I guess that's time will tell with that. I think that offense is going to be a weird one. But Cortland Sutton has shown that even when the offense isn't clicking, he still puts up some solid numbers. Carson or Ayuk PPR? Carson. Cortland Sutton or Corey Davis? Corey Davis or Jerry Judy? That's a tough one. I'm gonna go Corey Davis. Like I said today, I'm riding with the Jets. I'm not a Jets fan. I just think that offense can be pretty exciting, and it's a new time. It's a new time for the Jets. Damian Harris or Corey Davis? Full PPR. Corey Davis. Start 2, bench 1. Scary Terry, Robbie Anderson. Definitely starting Scary Terry, guys. Love Scary Terry this week and full season. Scary Terry is legit, and I have a ton of shares of him. I think he could be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So I'm definitely starting Scary Terry, and I'm starting Robbie Anderson, and I'm sitting Jacoby Myers. Corey Davis or Cortland Sutton? Corey Davis. Feel free, guys. We have a couple minutes left. I don't even know if I got to set my lineups today. I think I did. I think so the other day, but this has been crazy. We appreciate all the questions and the fact that people are coming over so we can answer your questions and help you guys out. David Montgomery or Miles Sanders? Real quick, tell me. Oh no, guys. Deandre Swift just got announced as the backup. I don't know if it changes. Jamal Williams is listed as the starter. I don't know if it changes much because I'm sure that's not how it's going to roll the entire time. But if we were in middle deciding between two, that news might be slightly sway some things. But Jamal Williams was announced as the starter. So yeah, if you were deciding between two, maybe flip it now. That's a little concerning, but not. I think it's a slight overreaction that I just made, but definitely something to pay attention to. Do you expect Chark to have a good year? You got to see Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he even looked that good in preseason, but it's preseason, so you don't put too much stock into it. Obviously, everything's going to ride with how he plays that offense. They have potential to be good. James Robinson is a good running back. So, I mean, the offense has potential to be good. And if that's the case, Chark will be a solid piece. Smith, Chase,
2
or
minutes
Waddle.
till game time,
Smith.
people. Hey,
Smith.
2 minutes. Let's go, people.
Smith, Chase, or Waddle. I'm going Smith. Tyler, you're back over there. Okay. All right. Well, Mike Davis had a good year on the Falcons. It's interesting. It'll be an interesting one to take a look at. Mike Davis, I think he played well in the exchange of CMC. So I have slight faith in him. For where he was getting drafted, I had no problem taking him. I think it got him in like 6 or 7. Jamal Williams had just been I don't know what that was about, Raiden. That was a complete curveball for us. We were big on Deandre Swift. Didn't love the matchup, and I don't think it's much more than just being announced as the starter because Deandre Swift should be involved. You hope this doesn't become a thing, but like I said, you have 1 minute. If you were deciding between 2 people and Swift, it might sway me the other way that he was just announced as the starter. Jimmy G or JJ, flex. Give me a little bit more with JJ flex. Is it a super league, super flex league? Is Deshaun Watson a stash? I'd stash him if you have a space. If it's just like a deeper league and you just have someone sitting down there, I wouldn't stash him over some guys that could get some quality points of playing time because it's just such a question mark at this point. Will Callaway have a good year and stuff? Yeah, I think Callaway will have a good year. Empty. What?
A sense of common purpose.
I don't know. Michael Thomas, if you're talking about Michael Thomas, I have no Michael Thomas. He was going far too early in leagues for me to take any sort of chance. And who do you mean by JJ? I feel like I'm missing something. Like I should know that right away. But Jimmy G, I don't love Jimmy G. His matchup is all right. Who? Oh, okay. Yeah, Jimmy G, I don't mind him. He's like a solid QB2, I guess. But maybe Julio Jones is who you're talking about. And if that's the case, I still go Jimmy G. I always go the quarterback, but Julio Jones is also a very, very good option to start. Hey, we appreciate you guys. If there's any last second questions coming in, it's 1 o'clock, so the games are getting started. Gonna go kick back, take a beer. Feel free to join us later and watch the right before the primetime game. We'll probably go live about 7:15, 7:30 if you guys want to tune into that. Go over the day's games because it's a great time to be there. So don't forget to like and subscribe. We have the like and subscribe button. Come back, guys. We appreciate all you guys. We appreciate the love we got today and the people that were in the questions. It was hectic.
Hey, I appreciate all you guys on YouTube. Thank you all for being a part of the live show. It's been a little crazy. It's the first week. It's going to be crazy, but I appreciate every single one of you tuning in and watching our show today. Truly, it means a lot. So thank you all. Honestly, it means a lot.
Thanks, guys.